hustle on a mission. Grinding for that spot, a brand new pot to piss in. Trying to school my partners home, think they pay attention. I'm sticking to my vision, on the road to the riches. Every single day, I'm a hustle on a mission. Trying to get 100 M's, nigga, I ain't kidding.
I'm on a mission every day, you know that. And it's Home Inc. TV. And we in the lit house. Whatever you do, make sure you keep the light within you shining bright, you feel me? And never forget to do it capital and create a positive impact today and later. Fuck them haters. Get your paper straight like that. And yeah, I said, fuck it, man. I'm just finna do some R&R with some allegedly news, cause shit, ain't no other way to cover the motherfucking Diddy trial but that. You feel me? That's the only motherfucking way to cover this bitch. Is with some real nigga reactions, R&R. With allegedly news. So shit. They get into it, you know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to everybody doing their thing, keeping it positive, you know what I'm saying? Keeping their mental in check, taking care of their people, you know what I'm saying? Don't forget to take care of yourself while you at that, you know what I'm saying? You got to take care of yourself first before you could take care of any motherfucking body else. And don't you forget that, bro. When your ass get got down complacent, you be feeling all kind of fucked up and all type of shit like that. When you feel lost, like, why the fuck am I even doing this shit? Or, what is the meaning of this shit? Just remember, nigga, all this shit temporary, nigga. You just here for an experience, nigga. Some niggas get down on themselves, be ready to end the game. Nigga, no, try to beat the game, nigga. You feel me? That's why you here. Just try to beat the motherfucking game while you here, nigga. There's so much shit trying to take us out, you know what I'm saying? Trying to end our game anyway. So, you know, motherfuckers want to see you fucked up. Can't give them that satisfaction. You feel me? So, the least you could do, nigga, is try to beat the motherfucking game, nigga. Facts, nigga. That's all you could do, bro. That's the least you could do is try to beat the motherfucking game. Because everybody that don't like you or give a fuck about anything, they want to see you down. They want to see you fucked up. They want you to fuck up. Everybody wants you to fuck up, nigga. Nigga, your mama wants you to fuck up, nigga. Might hurt to say, but yeah, nigga, some of your mamas want you to fuck up, nigga. Some of your mamas wanted you to fuck up since birth, nigga. Because you look so much like your daddy, bitch. She want you to fuck up. That nigga ain't fuck up. So she want you to fuck up. Sad truth. Some niggas gotta catch a realization of that shit for real. But moving right along, we gonna get into this shit. There's a couple. It's everybody covering the fucking trial. So I'm gonna go to it's two people covering the trial. Seddy Nash. Two of my favorite Seddy Nash academics. I feel like they covering it the best for me. You feel me? Seddy Nash more technical, really all through that shit. He get through that shit. But he catch it after. Academics, he live with that shit. He gonna go details. You gonna get all the, you know what I'm saying, insides, in between shit. Everything that come up, he gonna go pull that shit. You'll get inside details of the history and all that shit. If you don't know something, you gonna find out on academic shit. So guess where we going? We gonna fuck with academics on the Diddy trial.
Single must be love.
How did that make you feel when you saw your nude pictures on the internet? Oh shit! This is it.
We're going to talk about that next break. It's 215.
You're gonna have to explain that one to me.
I am.
I'm not really sure.
One for Cassie. How does this does it upset you or bother you when you have a song that you think is hot, and then somebody like Diddy wants to get on there who can't rap? He's a great businessman, but his rap sucks. And for Red Cafe, my question for you is: has anybody ever told? I mean, I like your music. You sound, your music is hot. But anybody ever tell you sound like Obi Trice a little bit?
That's the first time I heard that. That's not the first time you heard Diddy suck, Red Cafe. Don't you tell that.
No. The question
Obi
for Red
Trice,
Cafe
man.
was that he sounds like Obi Trice a little bit.
Not the first time you heard Diddy suck.
Maybe
I'm
Obi
sorry.
Trice sound like me though.
Oh yeah, true indeed.
Yeah,
true
you know.
indeed.
And I ain't mad at him. If I was him, I would want to sound like me too.
Okay, I ain't mad at that answer.
Right.
But for Cassie, when you got a hot album, when you feel like you got a song out that's really hot, and then Diddy comes in the studio, I don't know how that process works, but he comes in the studio, I'm like, yeah, that's hot. Let me throw something more on that. Does that bother you?
No, it didn't bother me, and I like the rhyme on the record. So.
Well, not just with that. Doesn't he have on your other song? He rapped on your other song too, didn't he?
My very first single you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, that was cool. I mean, because it had Jock on it. It was just like kind of like welcome me into Bad Boy, being in Bad Boy. So it wasn't. No.
Okay. So thank you. Good luck to your
Thank
both
you.
of your
Okay.
albums.
Yep,
Yeah.
dog. On the beat with Charlamagne
whatever
on
you say.
100.3 The Beat. We're here with Bad Boy's latest artist,
you know what that
Red
was,
Cafe
though?
and Cassie. I started to say victims. I'm not gonna lie. Started to say latest.
I ain't gonna count. It sounded like that was one of Suge Knight people's and shit. Like some West Coast shit. Like, hey, Cass, so don't fuck with you when a nigga wanna be all up in the videos. Wanna drop a verse on your new song. It sound like a dude gonna say, yeah, cut it death row. That's exactly what it sounded like. That nigga was going with that shit on that car.
But
You're funny.
I'm just being honest.
No, you're actually
People
like
don't
a
win
comedian.
on Bad Boy, except unless your name is Diddy. Red, you know this.
Me and Red are gonna turn it around.
Yeah. I think it's a good
Charlamagne
look.
said that shit.
I think it's- I think it's a-
what it
Because it
said.
had Jock on it. It was just like kind of like welcome.
Rapped on your other song. Albums.
Yep, dog. New Morning Beat with Charlamagne on 100.3 The Beat. We're here with Bad Boy's latest artist, Red Cafe and Cassie. I started to say victims. I'm not gonna lie. Started to say latest victims, but
You're funny.
Bad Boy,
I'm just being honest.
No, you're actually
People
like
don't
a
win
comedian.
on Bad Boy, except unless your name is Diddy. Red, you know this.
Me and Red are gonna turn it around.
Yeah. I think it's a good
We're gonna
look.
turn around with people.
I think it's.
What happened to Red Cafe? I don't know. It ain't happened to Red Cafe. So, who the fuck actually? Damn, that was a good question. Who the fuck actually won on Bad Boy? The only person I could see that won on Bad Boy is Mace. And that's because he fucking got the fuck away from that nigga and goddamn with the church. You got to think about this shit. Niggas ain't said this shit. I'm finna say it, bro. niggas ain't even thought about this shit. But what the fuck did Mace experience? I know it was the whole East Coast, West Coast beef, but I feel like it was something deeper than that. What made Mace go to church? Man, I'm talking about you with bad. You on top of the world. You on top of the world, man. You on top of the world, getting all the money. You got all the girls, and you stopped that to go to church. I understand niggas was dying and shit. It was only 2 niggas that died though. And them niggas was beefing and going back and forth. So yeah, I know I heard about the incident in California. You was in the hotel room and niggas, the shit got crazy. You was goddamn. You was feeling like you was getting cornered in or some shit. I feel that. But something else is telling me. It's something else. Excuse me. It's something else. Mace was dealing with Diddy and felt like he was dealing with the devil. That nigga left Bad Boy to go to church and start preaching. And then he went back. And then he left again. That nigga went back for a couple months and then said, fuck that shit again. Like, this nigga ain't changed. I thought this nigga would have grew up and said, that's what it kind of felt like. That nigga was dealing with the devil. That nigga experienced the energy so tremendous. That nigga took his ass to church and started preaching for 10 years until he got back into music. Niggas don't talk about that shit. But who the fuck actually won on Bad Boy Records? We gotta look this shit up now. Hold on. That's a great point, bro. Who the fuck, if anybody, we finna goddamn pull up a list of Bad Boy artists. That's the only person I could think about that one that was on Bad Boy is Mason. That nigga still winning because he left and that nigga still in the church. That nigga goddamn blessed, boy. That nigga rebuked the devil. That nigga used Jesus to get away from that nigga. That nigga used the church. That nigga said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That nigga crazy. Hold on. All right, so boom. We finna go through the list. We finna go through the list of Bad Boy artists. Young Chop he was good, but no, he ain't really survived. I'm glad Jeezy survived now. Jeezy was a Bad Boy artist, wasn't he? Wasn't Jeezy Bad Boy for a minute? Jeezy was Bad Boy for a minute, man. Boys in the Hood, yeah, he was Bad Boy with Boys in the Hood. But that shit ain't last. Jody Breeze, all them boys out of there. French Montana, he had a nice little run. B5 had them popped out. What the fuck happened to B5? Because I know what they were trying to do with B5. What happened to B5? Bring B5 back out. I know B5 got some shit. I know they want to say something. Ryan Leslie. Ain't that the one? Ain't that then they take that's the nigga he took Cassie from. Bro, it is not one. It's not even showing Mace. Did they show? Yeah, they showed Mace first. Nobody. I'm not seeing not one motherfucker besides Mace, bro. Rick Ross, I don't count him as no motherfucking Bad Boy artist. He's more like a Bad Boy partner. What happened to Sherry Dennis? You got Carl Thomas. You would have thought one of them singing ass niggas would have been goddamn. You got Mario Winans. Machine Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly probably decent too, but he ain't even got down. That nigga crucified the rap god. He ain't got down. I don't know. I would say Machine Gun Kelly probably the top. Lil Jon, I don't want to put Lil Jon there either. But bro, people that came up and strictly known under Bad Boy, ain't none of them won, bro. Besides Mace, and Mace is the only one to fucking win because he escaped to the church, nigga. Mace the only one won. Mace the only one that was under Bad Boy and won and still winning because he went to church, nigga. God is good.
I think it's a good look. I mean, the last rapper from Brooklyn that got with Diddy, we saw what happened. Biggie, he blew up. So Biggie, yeah, Biggie did.
Biggie got killed. Biggie was popping for 3 years.
remarkable things.
Was that something that you like really wanted to do? Like, did you say, you know what? I think doing a joint venture with Bad Boy would be a good look. How did that come about? That whole joint venture? Because he was already on.
Bro, Biggie died in 3 years, bro. After he started, like, bro, that's not a fucking win, nigga. That's not a win at all, bro. The nigga died. And you know, it's speculation on why the nigga died too, right? He was trying to get his own shit going. And Diddy was like, man, I ain't finna competing with you, nigga.
Convict.
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
You know, me and Diddy was talking about we were working together, and we started talking about a few different things, and we kind of was seeing eye to eye on a lot of them, you know, a lot of different things.
Making pictures. Now, Cassie, as I was talking to you earlier,
yeah.
Now it's no surprise in R&B, it's Beyonce, Rihanna, and everybody else. Like I think Carrie's starting to get her own space. Well, in the R&B pop lane, I'm saying R&B pop lane. Carrie Hilson's starting to get her own space. Sierra, even though her last album flopped, she's still there. And then it's really like the rest of y'all. That's why I say it's a Beyonce, Rihanna world. So how do you separate yourself from that? How do you get yourself noticed? Other than shaving your head and having naked pictures.
Well, I have to say, just to clear that up, shaving my.
Yo, this Charlamagne was a demon, bro. I see why Charlamagne like found God, got married, dealing with mental health. Because if they bring up these old clips, again, to me they're funny. I don't think none of it's cancelable, but shit, they would never let him live this down.
Shaving your head and having naked pictures.
Well, I have to say, just to clear that up, shaving my head wasn't, a scream for attention. It's something I really wanted to do for a long time.
Okay.
And I finally did it. So that's that. But honestly,
she was lying through her teeth. Diddy told her to do it. According to I forgot who it was. They said Diddy saw someone with that haircut in the club and told her, you got to get this.
I just got back into doing things. I'm working hard. I can only count my blessings and just work as hard as I can. And that's what it is. I don't think I live in anybody's world but my own. So I'm my own competition. And I'm fighting to get past what I did before, obviously. So that's the biggest jump for me now. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
All right, we're gonna talk to Red Cafe and Cassie one more time in one hot second. If you got questions for him.
With a new album, but
as much as I would like to entertain you, but nah, I actually think that record is all right.
You think so?
Yeah. Okay.
So do you have a release date yet? Both of y'all, Red Cafe mentioned you in the articles. I was talking about guys like.
All right, hold on. I think this is the first one. Here we go.
Hey, the all new morning beat with Charlamagne on 100.3 The Beat. DJ Touchstone providing the soundtrack. That was Red Cafe.
This is so interesting. I think this is when Charlamagne had gotten fired from Charlamagne got fired and he went to do radio, I believe in Philly or something like that. And he had gotten fired supposedly because of Jay-Z over some Beanie Siegel shit.
Hottest in the hood, and my man Red Cafe is here.
It's moving.
Along with Cassie. If Jay-Z was really trying to move the culture forward at Summer Jam, like he said he was, instead of doing Death for Auto-Tune, he'd have brought you out to do Hottest in the Hood. He'd have introduced the new generation of Brooklyn.
Absolutely.
Brought you out to do Hottest in the Hood, brought Mano out to do all the above. But instead, he did Death for Auto-Tune. What's your thoughts on that, being a Brooklyn boy, Red Cafe? Don't do the politically correct thing now that you signed the Bad Boy.
Oh, Young Jock said it.
I'm sure he got a method to his madness.
Grand Heights, thank you for that. Young Jock said it.
This man, he trying to figure it out.
But being that you're on Convict, I'm sure you got at least 1 or 2 records with Auto-Tune.
103.5 is the beat of Miami? No, I think it was Charlamagne, the beats. Yeah, he had gotten fired.
We got some very shocking news. You actually yourself broke. This wasn't broken by anybody else. You actually went on Twitter yourself and broke this news. So go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, I put out on Twitter that I got fired from WPHI 100.3 The Beat in Philly. I mean,
yeah, 103 The Beat in Philly. He had went to Philly, and then he got fired there because he said something about Beanie Siegel and Hove.
It wasn't nothing for me to break the news. My life is an open book, It's nothing for me to share something like that.
So describe to me.
Anyway, let's get back to.
Is it still Bad Boy / Convict?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Okay.
Bad Boy / Drama.
And I'm hearing
And T-Pain getting his auto-tune on my album for sure.
Okay.
I personally, I like auto-tune, man. You know, I ain't mad at auto-tune.
I mean,
auto-tune ain't do nothing to me.
Exactly. It works sometimes and it doesn't work other times.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of things Jay-Z could have called death to. He could have called death to gang banging. He could have called death to
pedophiles.
the drug culture and rap. He could have called
Death to
old
pedophiles.
rappers who don't know when to sit down, but then he would eat for himself.
Right.
So, I understand.
Right.
Now,
He could have called death
Cassie,
to
I'm not gonna lie,
pedophiles.
Cassie. I talked about you so bad about a month and a half ago.
He could have called death to pedophiles.
I want to hear what you said.
When you first shaved your head off, and then the pictures of you came out naked the next week, I said, this chick is screaming for attention in a Beyonce, Rihanna world.
Really?
Yes.
And is that how you truly feel?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Right.
I
know you think it's a little
listen-
unfair to judge before you do know somebody.
I mean, I didn't judge. I was just giving my opinion because you know when they talk about Cassie, you know, you don't hear a lot of good things. That's why I kind of got to give you props for keeping your head up because they say things like, you know, you're untalented, you're not good vocally, and then when you shaved your head and came out with the naked pictures, it was like, okay, she's reaching that. But
Well, I didn't put out the naked pictures.
Y'all like how Cassie just let him get that off. Yo, when they talk about you, they say a lot of negative things. That you're untalented. She says nothing. That you shaved your head for attention. Well, I ain't shaved my head for no attention. You're supposed to be like, what you mean I ain't got no talent, nigga?
Number one. But I did put out the pictures of my head shaved.
And that's, I mean, everybody's following you now, so you're looking like a trendsetter nowadays.
I mean, it's not even a trend. It's something I did.
How did that make you feel when you saw your nude pictures on the internet?
I took them. I took them and sent them to my boyfriend.
Really? Who was your boyfriend at the time? Diddy?
Doesn't matter.
Diddy doesn't need pictures of you naked.
It wasn't for him.
Brian Leslie?
No, it wasn't for him.
Huh.
This is Goat Charlemagne. We don't get these fucking answers. Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. Cassie's a goat. Again, I know she's saying this was not consensual. She was forced to do this. But Cassie held that nigga Diddy down. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, chat. Like, and I understand Diddy was probably tight that she cheated on him type shit. But Diddy been fucking mad. I don't know whether to say men or women, but Diddy been cheating too. Diddy, for how good she held that nigga down and kept this secret for so long while her reputation and her image got slammed, bruh, I know she cheated with the trainer, but sometimes you gotta get a parting gift like, all right, just go ahead with that. Go ahead with that. Because, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro, she held that nigga down, dog. She definitely held that nigga down. Like, she took all the weird, whatever, like, criticisms, and she never ever said, bro, you know what she could have said? Bro, I only took them because Diddy told me to take him. I did it for him. She took the pain and the embarrassment. I get it a little bit. Like, she really took the blame.
Them and sent them to my boyfriend.
Really? Who was your boyfriend at the time? Diddy?
Doesn't matter.
Diddy doesn't need pictures of you naked.
It wasn't for him.
Brian Leslie?
No, it wasn't for him.
Huh.
No.
We're gonna come back to you, young lady. We're here. Okay. We got Cassie and we got Red Cafe in the building. You want to introduce your new single?
We gotta come back to you, young lady.
My new single, Must Be Love.
You have to speak up. It's a Beyonce, Rihanna world. You have to be heard, Cassie. Speak up.
This is my new single, Must Be Love.
Featuring.
By the way, I'll say this. There's one thing in chat. I know y'all could say yapidemics. Y'all either say yapidemics, I'm just chatting. And obviously I'm trying to connect dots here. Or y'all could say faxidemics. I've noticed one thing about the women that Diddy has really dated or kind of locked in, with the exception of Young Miami. Like, Young Miami just didn't fit the mold.
Definitely.
Remember Gina Hood, the little Asian chick, when she's on Tasha K and Tasha K says, take a drink. And she hurries up and drinks. Like, Diddy dates people pleasers. Diddy dates people pleasers that probably have a hard time standing up for themselves. Now, some might call that submission, but I think it's more than submission. It's women who aim to please, and not only sexually.
Yeah, hold on, but Young Miami fits
way.
that mode, though.
They want you to be happy with them. Maybe you could call that low self-esteem. I don't know. But also, if we go by the story, look like Diddy part of his game.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. Young Miami fits that mode. Young Miami fits that mode of a people pleaser, especially when you got money, nigga. You got money, you take care of. She definitely is a people pleaser, nigga. She already told you. She cook, she clean, she fuck, and she shut the fuck up. I don't know if she said it in that order, but shit, nigga, if she ain't pleasing, what the fuck that is?
Game was telling her she
Yeah,
ain't
so
pretty
on point.
enough. Yo, you look too Mexican, man. Fuck out of here. Yo, that performance was bad. It was less about reassuring her and more about putting her mindset down.
But with Young Miami, Diddy was using Young Miami too, though, at the same time to get the younger audience back. Basically talking about him, get him basically, you know what I'm saying? That's what that shit be for real. It's that Soulja Boy shit. Try to get in the headline, you gonna do some shit, you feel me? I'm gonna fuck the little young bitch. Now I got a different, you know what I'm saying, audience on me, and I could build back up. Boom, I could drop some new shit, and you know what I'm saying? Can't stop, won't stop. Bad boy, go do some shit like that. Put Kodak on some shit. This, you know what I'm saying? He was doing some shit. He was trying to manipulate the shit. He was trying to manipulate the shit to get back hot.
What I'm saying?
Get bad boy
Again,
back on top.
Just even look at. Remember, granted, Charlamagne is a powerful guy in the music industry, has a big voice. Pause. But Charlamagne just flat out called her untalented, and 2 minutes later, Charlamagne's like, "Now they can hear you. Say it louder," and you could tell like she's so quick to, my new single. Like her reaction is to just do what the person's telling her to do to please the person. You get what I'm saying?
No, I don't get it like that. No. I ain't see it.
We're
like
gonna come
that,
back
bro.
to you, young lady. We're here. Okay. We got Cassie and we got Red Cafe.
I ain't see it like that. She was laughing. She was just entertaining him by doing the shit.
The building. You want to introduce your new single?
Yes, this is my new single. Must Be Love.
For herself.
You have to speak up. It's a Beyonce, Rihanna world. You have to be heard, Cassie. Speak up. Introduce
your single. My new single, Must Be Love.
Featuring.
Which one are you playing?
Is this the one featuring Red Cafe?
It's Diddy.
Oh my God, y'all would leave Red Cafe off to play Diddy's verse.
I make it work.
215-261-0003.
Y'all would leave Red Cafe off to play Diddy's verse. Shit, Red Cafe probably wrote the motherfucker.
I know later he got involved with he got involved with like Revolt Start, like syndicating the Breakfast Club. But the way how Diddy was moving, I'm surprised. Yo, you talking to his main chick like that on the radio and you ain't get slapped? Nah, no way. They got to be a story about it. They got to be a story about it. Charlamagne,
not his main chick, bro. It was his side.
Because if Birdman pulled up on him, Diddy definitely was trying to kill him. On him, oh, here we go.
On Vlad TV for the first time in like a decade, you've seen him really get out there and tell his personality and everything else like that. You had him on the Breakfast Club, which I'm sure was, somewhat of a result of his Vlad TV interviews.
Absolutely.
And now Tony Ayo is doing his first ever solo show in New York at Sony Hall for the first time in his life because of, the push that we gave him and then you followed up on, and suddenly he's doing his own tours and so forth. Like, I love to see it. I love to see it.
Absolutely. I mean, think about, that's like even something like Versus, even though it's not considered hip hop media, that's powerful because these platforms end up showing folk, but there's a difference between noise and having actual influence and power. There's people that'll, they'll bring people on Breakfast Club because Breakfast Club helps to sell books. Breakfast Club can help your podcast numbers jump. Breakfast Club can, have people tune into your TV show. Breakfast Club can have people go out and vote for you. Breakfast Club can have people pull up to your, movie, that first weekend when those box office numbers really count. I'll never forget, Diddy yelling and screaming at me. This is before I even recognized truly, the power, that the platform was commanding. This is when he dropped the Last Train to Paris album. And I gave him Donkey of the Day for that album, right? I'm like, yo, this shit is shake weight music. You know what I mean? Once again, being an asshole because people love that album.
Weight music,
right? But I'm just
hold up, niggas don't remember this shake weight, man. You don't think you understand what Charlamagne just said right there. This nigga just called Diddy track or whatever he had dropped back then shake weight music. This had to be when shake weights had came out. Do you know what the fuck the shake weight is, nigga? Do they even still sell that shit? The shake weight you just shake like this. Man, Charlamagne that shit. Man, Charlamagne ass that shit, bro. If you want to pop off in this type of space, you gotta be a talking shit ass nigga like Charlamagne. Hey,
just fucking with him. And he came to the station hot, like to go out the back door, Charlamagne, type shit. And I remember when I finally had a conversation with Diddy about it, asked Sean Prez about it. Sean Prez put us on the phone. And Diddy was like, bro, you can't do that on my first week. Because I'm a big boy. You know, I can take criticism with the music, but not on my first week when I'm trying to get these.
Damn. I want to see that original.
Not on the first. I feel it now as a businessman.
Since we got company in the room.
My disclaimer?
Yeah.
Okay, the views that Charlamagne expresses do not reflect the views of everybody else in the room, including myself.
You know what's so crazy? Yo, Chad, two things. First of all, I think one of the best hidden secrets is that clearly Diddy was the most freaky nigga and he was doing these freak offs. But also what's hidden is that, you know, the perception of Diddy's that
was not a hidden secret. It was not hidden. It was not a hidden secret. It's just out in front of the world for the public to know now. That's it. It was never a secret, nigga. These niggas, it had been so much hints and information before this happened, nigga. So nah.
Diddy's like some punk. That Suge bullied and he was running away from Suge. Now, granted, over like all them niggas died or went to jail. So Diddy was his mogul, and later he got that respect of, oh, Diddy could do a lot of shit, or like, yeah, he's not a punk no more type of shit. But look like Diddy was always on that tough guy shit, right? Diddy looked like he was always on that bullshit. It's just that his way of being on it wasn't the way of like.
Nigga said he'll put $1 million on your head.
They got glamorized while we thought Diddy was just a stone cold bitch, but clearly it don't look like he was.
And Diddy, who's our co-host this morning.
Yes. Yeah.
That's our disclaimer.
Okay, so donkey today for Monday, March 8th goes to a man that Diddy knows very well. Shine Pope. Shine, you gotta chill all the way out, B. You've been home for 6 months and you haven't.
Yo, look at Diddy's face, man. Diddy always, now when I look at Diddy, I could tell Diddy always want to slap a nigga, bro.
Dropped one hot record yet.
He said, now when he look at it, I've been seeing that shit. I've been seeing that shit. But look, you could tell that reaction that I noticed the reaction you talk about though. That shit
cold bitch. Stupid. But clearly it don't look like it was.
And Diddy, who's our co-host.
Look how Diddy react when he
That's
said
our disclaimer.
Okay, so don't get it.
Hold on, look at his face now, because he dead ass serious. You could tell he in a whole different mindset right now. Yeah, he dead ass serious. He up at the Breakfast Club. They done did a disclaimer for Charlamagne back then, with how they used to have to do. And Diddy up there. Now look how serious Diddy was looking at the beginning.
Today for Monday, March 8th goes to a man that Diddy knows very well. Shine Pope.
I wish they went into the
Shine. You gotta chill all the way out, B. You've been home for 6 months and you haven't.
Yo, look at Diddy's face, man.
He damn sure like this nigga
Diddy
here, man. Why would he do that off the rip? When I'm in, like off the rip. And you know what Shine doing?
Yo, now when I look at Diddy, I could tell Diddy always want to slap
Diddy
a nigga, bro.
Diddy know what Shine was doing.
Yet. The material dropping isn't even aight. It's terrible. He's released a new track called King David. Let's hear a little bit of this garbage.
You can tell he not all the way down with Charlamagne doing this.
Do you hear yourself?
Even though
that's his artist.
But listen, Shine does have an album coming out. He has Gangland.
That's a radio move. Just be. They won't do it while you're there. Huh. This is 14 years ago. Here we go.
God, this is the Breakfast Club. Let me put in my last train.
What did you say about Cassie?
Do we have to get into that? Can I finish?
So Diddy pulled up on Charlamagne.
It was when he interviewed Cassie.
Brush off my Sean John jeans, yeah?
Now, yesterday during Donkey of the Day, you put Bad Boy record label.
Yes.
Puffy.
Yes.
Diddy. Sean John.
Yes.
He was the Donkey of the Day.
Yes.
And you said the reason why was because
I wasn't feeling Last Train to Paris album.
Right. And you slandered Diddy. Slandered Dirty Money.
Yes.
And one time before in your life, you slandered Cassie.
Yes.
Diddy refused to come up here and talk to you.
Yes. And me and Diddy had a phone conversation about that yesterday. First of all, Diddy is an OG. He's been making music for a long time, so he understands that people will have good and bad opinions of his music. He didn't agree with mine, of course.
Right. Of course not.
But he understood and respected that I have an opinion. But deeper than that, me and Diddy had a convo as men. And I was expressing my opinion of his music to him, but that wasn't his issue. His issue was I disrespected somebody that's real close to him. Right. You know, his shorty. I had no idea that this person was that close to him. And as a man, he expressed to me, what if that was your woman? How would you feel if someone disrespected her?
When you interviewed Cassie, he's mad about that.
Just let me finish here, please.
All right, his shorty Cassie.
And as a man, I totally understand.
Man, Charlamagne has to do an apology. I feel it still. Oh, let me see. We should be at lunch. Just give me one last update on these tweets, and then we should be at lunchtime. Let's see. AUSA said, who you speak to about it? Kerry Morgan says, Ryan. By the way, they're talking about the coat hanger, right? And she's saying that she got hit with a coat hanger over behind her right ear. And basically, he was mad about who Cassie was cheating on him with. They would say, says, who do you speak about the incident? And she says, Ryan, his old assistant. AUSA says, what did he do? Morgan says, nothing. And I haven't spoke to Cassie since. They went on break then, and they're definitely officially at lunch because it's 12:53. Okay, so the jury's out for lunch. The judge is saying, what's your best citation to try to get evidence in? Okay, they're trying to do some nomenclature stuff. Judges say, I'm going to look at them and come back. Combs says, we haven't seen this one before. And it says, y'all all need to go eat, go get a break. Okay, so all this happened 4 or 5 minutes ago. So I would imagine that we're going to be out until 2. So chat, we're not getting off clearly. So we're just chilling. We're going to see who comes out of the courtroom. We're going to be doing all that shit. So you guys order your lunch, and I'll be here just kind of just vibing with y'all. All right. Y'all having a good time? Or not good time, because this is no having a good time watching this. But as long as y'all are good, whether you're doing delivery, Uber Eats, Lyft, if you're driving a truck, if you're working in a corporate office, if you're in school, just thank y'all for tuning in and rocking out.
And that, so I apologize to him for that over the phone, because I totally understood where he was coming from, because I got a woman that's close.
Go to the Drink Champs interview. What's on a Drink Champs interview? Did he Drink Champs interview?
To me on that level, so I would feel the same way. I'm a respectful person, contrary to popular belief. So I apologize to Diddy for disrespecting this lady. As far as that last train,
What did you say about Cassie?
Do we have to get into that? Can I finish?
It was when he interviewed Cassie a while ago, and he said,
Can I finish talking here?
He said some things about her music and then about her
That's what that nigga was trying to do to me about Young Miami, though.
sleeping her way or whatever, something like that.
That was foul. That was nice.
That is disrespectful.
Not the music part. Not the music part, because that's my opinion. But sleeping her way to the top was it's a tad bit disrespectful. But as far as the Last Train to Paris album, we agree to disagree on that. But I don't want to sway anybody's opinion of that album. My opinion is my opinion, but don't let my opinion be your opinion.
They actually gave it good reviews in a lot of places.
A lot of great reviews. Well, that's what I'm saying. Check it out for yourself and come to your own conclusion. So I salute Mr. Combs. The fact that Diddy even reached out to me, I appreciate it, because he didn't have to do that. He's Diddy, the mogul, multimillionaire, lifestyle ambassador, hip-hop icon, and I'm just young Charlotte, the radio jock, trying to make my mark. But for him to reach out and for us to have that convo, and for him...
Diddy applied a little bit of pressure right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. Charlamagne came back. You can tell. He just didn't do like how Birdman do it. By the way, I'll give every artist this type of advice. Yo, radio DJs, media personality, media outlets, they're oftentimes fickle and petty, and they use things against you later. If you got a gripe with a media personality, an outlet, a blog, a Twitter page that says something against you, a lot of times y'all artists don't realize, yes, that one little platform might be just gnawing at your reputation, this and third, but your voice, of course, is going to be a lot of times louder than theirs. And what happens is that even if they're in the wrong, you now created an enemy that is going to be tweeting at you, talking more than you, that's going to be trying to sway people against you, usually perpetually, just because, they got embarrassed. So a lot of times I advise all media entities, or not media entities, artists. I told this to Cardi B back in the day. I said, rather than blasting the shade room, you don't got to put up weird or wild pictures of Angie. Try to have a conversation with her, because at the end of the day, shit, it's probably been like 7 or 8 years since that happened. Cardi B and Shade Room are still both known entities, and obviously I think Shade Room kind of let it go. But if Shade Room was really petty, they'd be over here still kicking your back and making you look crazy. So what Diddy did was the way to do it. And I'm pretty sure he was barking at Charlamagne, like, Charlamagne, you know, I A, B, C, and D, like, nigga, I get a booty going. Like, he could have said anything to Charlamagne, but the shit was handled in private, as opposed to Birdman, who pulled up on some. I'm telling you, what Birdman did was not more disrespectful than this call by Sean. But I guarantee, because it's public, Charlamagne still hasn't sat down with Birdman since, you know what I mean? And that goes into the power of embarrassment as well.
To give me some jewels about the game while we was on the phone.
I threw up in my mouth.
You said Charlamagne hasn't sat down with Birdman. You think Birdman trying to sit down with Charlamagne? I don't even remember a time when Birdman sat down with him before that. I don't know, man. Did Birdman sit down with Charlamagne before that? I know he had to. It had to be one time he did with Lil Wayne or something. Definitely with Weezy. It had to be.
I respect that. I respect that. And I've said from the beginning, I respect Diddy, and anything rooted in respect can grow. That's how I feel.
This is just so different from yesterday.
Wasn't it? Charlamagne's co-host always used to be setting him up for him to get an ass whooping because they wanted him to keep the same disrespected energy. They wanted to keep that disrespectful energy all the time. By the way, Low Life Brady says, yo, I like the no skin carry Charlamagne better. Nah, everybody know Raccoon Eye Charlamagne is great as Charlamagne. That's a fact. Like that's like, you know, when Uzi goes back to purple dreads, you're like, oh shit, he's about to do it again. If once Charlamagne face looked like he hasn't washed his face in 10 years, if that come back around, you know we got to go. That's the go. That's a fact. That's the go. That is the go.
Just have to say.
Listen, anything rooted in respect can grow when two men have a phone conversation and a person tells you.
Oh, shit. Okay. We'll pause that. I'll do a little sidebar here. I know we're on lunch chat. We're still covering the Cassie and Diddy case. Don't go nowhere. Order your damn lunch. Chill right here. We're covering hip hop. You know, this week we got to do minimum 8 hours a day. Shit. Let me see. Fuck. Oh, chat. One day I can't do oh my God. You know, I'm very honest with y'all. One of these, you mean the academic is G-Wagon. Fuck are you talking about? Okay. All good. I did have some topics. Wait, let me check quickly on court. By the way, I know a lot of you guys are here. I think most of us are here for yeah, they're still out at lunch. Oh, they're back. Oh, wow. They took a 30-minute lunch? If I let this in, Okay. So the judge is now dealing with another issue. The judge says if I let this in, Cassie could be recalled as a witness. AUSA says, I doubt we would call her. The judge says the defense could call her. AUSA says, I doubt she would be available. They're basically hinting that Cassie will be pregnant. Now, we don't know what issue this is, but it clearly is an evidence that is going to involve Cassie that the defense could say, we have had the witness testify either we didn't have the witness, this evidence wasn't in at that point, so we couldn't ask that witness who's material to that evidence. We couldn't ask that witness that question. So if y'all admit the evidence, we got to be able to bring her back in. Now, the judge says the evidence is out, so it's a non-issue. Look like Cassie will not be called back. But here's the thing. I'm wondering if they're saying it based on the evidence being maybe irrelevant or redundant or maybe just didn't whatever, or maybe the judges, apparently there's a conversation that was had between Cassie's lawyer and the court about Cassie's availability and the fact that she will be given birth expectedly in the next few weeks. So I'm wondering if the judge just made the decision because she's going to be unavailable due to childbirth, or the judge is saying this is a waste of time. Okay. The judge also said, I anticipate Mr. David will be the next witness. How is he relevant? Okay, so that's the judge asking. AUSA says he's relevant to the means and methods of the enterprise. By the way, this is the first supposed personal assistant of Diddy that has, I guess we could call it at this point, flipped on him. But I don't know if that's fair to say, because will we say that Dawn flipped on him? because they were associated with him before, but it don't mean that they were ever defending him. But I guess this would mean flipped on him, because according to other people's testimony, Mr. David James, one of his assistants, is a person who used to help carry out his bidding. So he could have been somebody who could be seen as a co-conspirator. Now, clearly, he's going to be testifying for the government. Okay. So they're saying he's going to be relevant to the means and the methods of the enterprise. And Mr. Combs threatening to assault employees. So while we wait for the jury to come back in, here's a court art of the Combs 2D Georgia lawyer, Nicole Westmoreland. Okay. This is her right here. Okay. Lost my some cheeks still. Not playing. As she cross-examined Dawn, this was Dawn here. Rashard this morning, courtesy of Inner City Press artists, Inner City Press by artist Elizabeth Williams. Maybe the cover of the second trial. Okay, the jury's now entering. AUSA says no further questions for Mrs. Morgan. The judge says cross. So AUSA says no more further questions. The judge says cross. Agnifilio says, okay, so now Agnifilio is popping in. Let me put that in my list of who talked to who. Okay, so Nicole Westmoreland did Dawn Richard. 7 is no, not 7, because we have Mark Agnifilio already. He does administrative pre-day motions and cross on Carrie Morgan. Okay, bet. Okay. I got a little spreadsheet that we're gonna use later to kind of help figure this out and remember stuff. Okay. So Agnifilio says you were Miss Ventura's best friend since 2004, right? Carrie Morgan says actually 2001. We met while waiting for Polaroids. Damn. I don't know why songs pop in my head when I hear words I haven't heard before. Shake it like a Polaroid picture, right? Ain't that oh my God, I'm blanking on the group. Andre 3000 and Big Boy Outkast. Yes. I was living in Buffalo. She was in Connecticut. So it looked like they go to a pharmacy or somewhere to develop some pictures.
That wasn't Outkast. That was just Andre.
Like that thing, that camera roll that you got to bring it to somewhere, and then you get the pictures or whatever the case is. That's how they said they met. Agnifilio says, then you were both in New York City. She says, I stayed downtown. She moved to Harlem. Agnifilio says, have you ever met Kim Porter? She says, yes, probably at a concert. Agnifilio says, was Cassie ever jealous? She says, yes. Okay. All right. By the way, while we are doing that, give me a second. I'm going to look at long crimes. We spent most of the break kind of, we spent most of the break not really paying attention to what was happening. Okay, so we didn't see this. So while we're getting the tweet, let's listen to Shorty right here. She's done a good job of exiting court and letting us know the real feel of what's going on and maybe important moments that we missed. So let's play this real quick, chat.
There are no audio recordings allowed in that courtroom. What did you see and what did you hear?
This from the first
the tone as far as this morning goes, a lot of people are kind of anticipating what would the rest of Dawn Richard's testimony look like, and especially more so, how would the cross-examination and how would Diddy's defense attorneys kind of be able to pull apart essentially her credibility. As far as just everyone inside the courtroom today, it doesn't look like there was that big kind of present for the defendant side that we've seen last week, especially when we came to day 1 and even day 2 of testimony, in that we didn't see any of Diddy's children inside that courtroom, which I think is a little big and a little not big at the same time. We saw images over this weekend that the twins were in during prom season. They were in their prom dresses and that sort. Not 100% sure where the sons are in this kind of picture, as far as are they on the West Coast again, because the twins are about to graduate. So it's unclear why the family presence wasn't so big as it has been for day 1 and day 2. As far as Diddy himself, though, it seems like that didn't necessarily faze him that much. I assume that he, looks forward to seeing his family inside that courtroom, but maybe understanding that they had other obligations. He didn't seem too bothered by that or anything like that. So as far as him,
I would actually say I think the family didn't show up today, or maybe his kids or whatever, because they know the main part was Cassie. Nobody give a fuck about what Dawn Richard got to say. The fuck? Shorty's mad because she ain't got no goddamn career. And Carrie Morgan hasn't been friends with Cassie for dumb long. Like the main witness already went, y'all could chill for a little bit.
Being inside that courtroom, it was still the same old Diddy that we've seen, kind of in the same old outfit that we've seen him in as well too. He was wearing a tan sweater, he had a white undershirt, he had khakis on. When he comes into the courtroom, he hugs his attorneys, he chats with them. all those types of things. And so a lot of people were just anticipating what would it look like once Dawn Richard got back on the stand. And let me tell you something, Jesse, when I saw her on the stand today, and even on Friday as well too, she appeared like she just didn't want to be there. You could tell that she was very uncomfortable, especially talking about her recollection of her time that she had worked with Diddy, her time after working with Diddy, especially during the cross-examination part. I thought that
interesting. I wonder if the government compelled these people to testify by kind of like even using the angle of, hey, you have a civil case against this guy. You want to get paid. You are probably on the path of winning that civil case if you testify in a criminal trial. Because if we're successful, your case is almost a slam dunk at that point. So she might not want to be there because this is wild fanfare and we're not going to see this fanfare for her civil case. But she's trying to get that bread out of Diddy too. So if you're trying to get that bread, it's in your benefit to testify in the criminal case, you know?
that maybe she would get a little emotional because she just appeared maybe a little nervous, maybe a little intimidated, not necessarily sure, but she was very soft-spoken while she was on that stand today answering some of the questions. A lot of those questions obviously had to do with the egg frying incident. It had to do with why Dawn Richard even continued working with Diddy even afterwards, or even wanting to work with Diddy afterwards. And so a lot of the anticipation, or just the overall tone inside that courtroom, especially when it came to that cross-examination, it was kind of, it was a little rough to watch. It was a little like a lot of people, especially us in the gallery, in the press, were just kind of like, wow, this is a little brutal. And they kind of hit the points that they wanted to hit while them being defense attorneys. And so I think that the prosecution really kind of had to tighten everything up as far as, trying to get maybe back in the jury's good graces after kind of seeing that cross-examination go and all those holes that were poked into her testimony. And so that was just the overall essence and tone of today's, especially this morning before Carrie Morgan got on the witness stand.
To go by, because I know it's so loud. So this, Elizabeth, how is the jury responding to Dawn Richard's testimony, and what were some of the highlights? I mentioned it briefly before you came on air, kind of summarized some of the points, but what were some of the points that came out today from her testimony, both on direct and cross-examination, and how was the jury responding to her testimony? Because let's not forget, she is a corroborating witness for Cassandra Ventura Fine. She helped to articulate some of the finer elements of racketeering. What were some of the highlights from her testimony, both on direct and cross, and how is the jury responding?
Well, absolutely. As far as being under direct, it was really just kind of ironing out the details as far as what happened with this whole egg skillet incident, that being the incident that happened in 2009, according to Dawn Richard, where essentially Cassie was cooking Diddy breakfast. Diddy comes downstairs, gets upset about either the way that the breakfast was made or why it wasn't being made fast enough. And essentially just an assault happened in the aftermath of that, something that Dawn Richard has even pointed out in her civil lawsuit, something that definitely the defense was definitely talking about today. So a lot of it had to do just with under direct examination still while they were finishing that up, just what was Cassie's demeanor when this was going on. They were also asked, or they being Dawn Richard was also asked, Cassie had a pretty quiet demeanor and that Diddy wasn't necessarily having that when it comes to what kind of promoted this type of violence or what prompted this type of violence, as far as why Diddy would essentially physically assault her. And Dawn would say Cassie would just be speaking up for herself, or it would be something random that happened. Then there were moments where they had talked about who witnessed these physical assaults, and Dawn Richard pointed out names such as Harve Pierre, who used to be the president of Bad Boy, Mia, who we expect to be testifying as well too. She had worked for Diddy. Capricorn Clark had worked for Diddy as well too, and then she named other names like D-Rock and Bonds, who both worked security for Diddy. So I can kind of see where the prosecution was kind of painting that or amping that up as far as how the staff is involved in all of that sort. As far as 2010, just the following year, she says she witnessed another incident where they were all at a festival together up in Central Park. They were about to bring out Diddy's Dirty Money group, and that right before this had happened, or actually, excuse me, I am looking at the wrong incident. Sorry about that. But there was another incident in 2010 where they were having a dinner with a bunch of celebrities, and that Cassie and Diddy were kind of arguing a little bit secretly there, and Diddy punched her in the stomach, according to Dawn Richard. There, she said that at that dinner, they had people like Harv Pierre, again, former president of Bad Boy, D-Rock Security, Kalina Harper, who used to work with Diddy's Dirty Money, Mia, who also worked with Diddy, and Bonds were all there during this dinner. And so then we kind of saw an exhibit photo of what Harv Pierre looked like. And so then there was another talk, and this is kind of where I bring up the Central Park incident, where there was an incident where Diddy had allegedly physically assaulted Cassie while they were getting ready for this festival, and that Cassie came into the bathroom, and that Kalina and Dawn kind of confided in her, or at least kind of helped her during this moment. They all kind of put on sunglasses and then just kind of carried on like usual. Meanwhile, Cassie's kind of nursing some injuries just behind the scenes. Now, when it came to the cross-examination, and there was just a lot of testimony going on today, so I'm trying to get you guys all my notes going on and everything like that. But once it came to the cross-examination, that was done by Nicole Westmoreland, and this was the first time we've kind of really seen her in action when it comes to this specific trial. And so first thing that Nicole Westmoreland's going to be asking her is just about her lawsuit, the lawsuit that she had filed just a few months ago against Diddy. And so she was asked about the demand letter that was I guess, set up by her attorneys. She was asked about how many times she spoke with federal prosecutors, and she said she couldn't necessarily recall the amount of times that she had done it, but the defense kind of summed it up that she at least spoke with federal prosecutors 8 different times. They brought back the egg skillet incident where on Friday, the defense was pointing out, you said that Cassie was cooling the eggs, and then Diddy comes downstairs and then he hits Cassie, or did he hit her, or did you see him hit her? Did you see that he had threw something at her? Was he like, it was really just kind of that quick and that much questioning kind of being thrown at her essentially. And then they brought up how it kind of compared to what she had said in her lawsuit just about the whole egg incident, and said that she didn't see the pan hit Cassie in the lawsuit. And then when she was asked essentially why she brought the lawsuit about, the defense was really kind of pointing at her. And I think this is something that, you know, anybody who had filed a civil claim against Diddy might be expecting this under the cross-examination, is what was their motivation in filing the lawsuit against the defense's client essentially. And so while Dawn at times was trying to say that she wanted justice and that she wanted to do the right thing, essentially, that the defense also pointed out, well, you did want compensation as well, too. And Dawn had to kind of own up and admit that she did want compensation for the time that she had worked on as an employee. Then the defense was asking her about her most recent communications with Diddy, as going back as early or as soon as like 2020, 2021, where essentially Dawn was reaching out to Diddy himself, was trying to get in touch with people about this kind of whole making the band. I believe it's a reboot that they were trying to do where Diddy wasn't necessarily going to be a judge, but instead Dawn wanted to use that opportunity to work with somebody else named Lori Ann Gibson. And so the defense was really kind of hammering her just about the facts that she had talked about with federal prosecutors as far as the different meetings that she had had in 2024, on March 18th of this year, on April 17th of this year, again, just pointing out specifics in regards to this egg incident, but also at the same time going into specifics about whether or not she felt threatened to working with Diddy. And if she felt threatened, if she felt scared for her life, why did she continue reaching out to Diddy as late as 2020 or 2021? You know, as we ended direct examination on Friday, they were really kind of hitting on the point that after Dawn Richard and even her bandmate at the time, Kalina Harper, allegedly witnessed this physical assault with the whole egg skillet thing, because that's kind of how they were summing up this particular incident, was the egg skillet incident. She was asked on Friday, what did Diddy tell you the next day? And essentially Dawn had said that Diddy essentially said that people wind up missing when they question him and that type of thing. And that was perceived as a death threat. So then when the defense had their chance to kind of cross-examine her, they were like, well, why did you feel threatened? And yet you continue to want to work with him. And so the defense moments, Nicole Westmoreland really kind of hit it on the head. I think a lot of people were possibly wondering, did Dawn come off like a liar? Did she kind of over embellish some of these incidents? But to Dawn's accord and to Dawn on the witness stand, she was just saying, you know, she was trying to remember to the best of her ability. So it was kind of tough to watch. But at the same time, I think Dawn Richard held her own. She didn't, kind of get.
Nah, they exposed her ass too.
too frazzled necessarily. She didn't get overly emotional, but you could tell that during the cross-examination, it was pretty tough.
And we actually have a poll up right now on YouTube. Do you think the jury views Dawn Richard as a credible witness? We'll see what the results of those are. I wish I had a little bit more time.
Okay.
No.
Get back to the tweets, y'all. Remember, this is the afternoon session. Okay, great. So it says, and the other way, Kerry Morgan says Cassie was speaking with Michael B. Jordan, and Sean got jealous. She was trying to leave him. Agnophilia says, y'all were both using drugs. She says, no, we were in South Africa. Agnophilia says, did you learn about Gina? Then Carrie says he was having a full-on relationship with this little girl. What? So why do you call her that? She acts like that. She's younger than us. Oh, my God. Why they sneak doesn't understand? How old is Gina Hill? You said this little girl. How old is she?
27.
Famous birthdays got her as, what is this, 33?
What?
And then how old is Cassie? Cassie age.
Cassie
38.
older. Cassie my age.
Nobody age shames more than women. Nobody age shames more than women, bro. Okay. Has Kerry Morgan ever done?
Ain't the same ones say age ain't nothing but a motherfucking ain't the same one.
Kerry Morgan interview. Has she ever done anything?
They the same ones. They the same ones be singing Aaliyah.
No, we never seen an interview. Has Gina ever done anything? Well, we know Gina. No need to pull up that interview yet.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
How old is Young Miami? So Gina's 32 now, Young Miami age. And Young Miami's 31. Okay. So apparently Diddy started fully dating, and she calls her this little girl.
I should be online.
All right. That subtle dismissiveness. The by the way, what year was this? If we could tell. 2001. In South Africa, when she was filming a show, South Africa, Cassie filming. She was filming a movie. She was filming Honey 3, Dare to Dance, right? How old was Cassie in 2015? How old was Cassie in 2015? Cassie was 29. I told you nobody's age shames more than women, right? So in 2015, Cassie's 29, right? And it's always the woman that's about to push 30 or they're 30. When women hit 30, everybody else is a little girl. Like, yo, you kind of creepy for liking that little girl. He liked you at 21. He liked you at 21. It was completely fair, right? But now Diddy like, you're pushing 30, right? She about to turn 20. She turned 30 that year. Diddy want the new young thing, right? If the Gina girl was born in she was born in, let me see, how old? I'll tell you right now. Woo. 2015.
Spicy spaghetti.
Calculate. Yeah, the girl's 22. Ooh. So at that time, the girl's 22. Chad, so think about this. Diddy had her doing freak-offs at 22. No issues. She's about to push 30, and Diddy finds the new 22-year-old to go do the freak-offs, Gina. And she's over here. Why did he date that little young-ass girl? That's when he found you. He loved the 22-year-olds. Once y'all get to about 30, y'all start talking about marriage, kids, and not freak-offs. Y'all want to grow out of the freak-offs now. All right, Sean, we've done 10 years of freak-offs. Could we now get married? Huh? The fuck? No, I'm just gonna let you go and go get the new girls to do the freak-offs. Diddy don't want to have the kids with none of y'all. He just want to have freak-offs. Somebody said 22 is a little girl. See, you're missing it. You're missing the point because, as I said, is that a woman who said that? Is that a track queen?
Yes, it was.
Sometimes y'all so obsessed with.
I can bet you it was.
The same thing. You can't shame Sean for doing the same thing he did with you. He met your ass at 22. He had you freaking off at 22. Now you pushing 30. He go get another 22-year-old. The pattern is the nigga like 22-year-olds. So if there was nothing wrong when he got with you, why are you upset that he getting with another chick that's 22? You get what I'm saying? Somebody says the freak off training camp. Okay, all right. So she was younger than us. I ain't gonna lie though. Yo, women hate when you do lead a ass for a chick that's younger. All of a sudden, you hear things you ain't never heard before. Yo, chat, leave your current girl and get with another girl. And be like, yo, yeah, he's weird for that. Like, huh? If she 34 and you leave her ass for a 25-year-old, yeah, he like little girls. They'll just say all type of dumb shit. Yeah, he like little girls. Yeah, he don't want a grown-ass woman. When he got with you was 25. Anyway, Combs Combs' lawyer says, when you say Sean came and hammered the door, why did the police come? Kerry Morgan says they came because of the noise. Agnafilo says, what did they say to you? Morgan says, Cassie was visibly injured, but she didn't say anything. Okay. Let's go back to Gina in let's hear her talk about 2015. So it looks like a big, like, there's two big incidents that happen as Cassie is pushing 30, right? She's now realized her entire career is dead. That nigga don't want to make you an artist no more. Okay? He only wants you to go train for freak offs. Okay? Now, what happens next is that in 2015, the only thing she still got going on in, like, you know, entertainment is that she would get these little roles or these little movies because she already had a name. She'd be like a love interest, right? So when they were like, oh, let's turn Terrence J from BT into a star, like he's an actor, they go get a hot chick who's a singer or a former singer. And that's where Cassie would fall in. Cassie, she's kind of getting upset. All they're doing is freaking off. They're not having kids. Ain't no wedding band coming. She's upset. Okay? Diddy, who I guess she had caught him fucking this girl before, the one up here. Diddy basically says, or no, Diddy gets caught again. And this time when he gets caught, it looks like she thinks, oh, it's more than you just fucking her. You're kind of trying to be with her. She blocks Diddy. She's in South Africa. Okay? She comes back. Diddy finds a way to get her back. And then 2018 is when this is when Cassie completely kills the idea of ever her being with Diddy, when Kim Porter dies and Diddy says, that was my soulmate. It just crushes her completely. So let me hear about Gina in 2018. If I can find
you think prompted him to call you?
He took one of my
pregnant with.
This was at the Palms.
As
motherfuckers should be shutting the hell.
2013, because I was at a fight in Vegas and I went.
Okay, so that's when they first met. Looked like Cassie finds out about it, but Diddy's like, nah, I stopped fucking with her. Cool. 2015 come around. Diddy probably already got a train for the freak off. So, like, with all due respect, and we're gonna say allegedly just to be safe, but he would imagine if Diddy was so obsessed with freak offs past 2015 going on to the point he was having one or two a week, if he got this new girl and he met her in 2013, now Cassie thinks he's almost in a full-blown relationship with her in 2015, we could probably safely assume that she was getting freaked off or she was down with the program at that point.
And I was visiting her, and
that initial encounter at his house, or did it take some time?
No, not really. We were there probably for like.
I'm trying to find 2015.
And he's always kept you.
He started punching me like on the side of the. Took a bottle of De Leon, and then I like smashed it on the ground, and he was like, bitch, you did that at my house with my kids here, bitch, my kids is here. And then I ran out the meditation room, or
meditation room.
I was like, no, you don't, because I thought that I would, if anything, I thought I would.
Oh, also Lori Harvey's in the mix. Oh my God. Nah, Diddy had a lineup. We just don't know who's consensual. Diddy had a fucking lineup, huh?
I don't believe him because I always catch him like texting other girls and stuff like that. So like after my abortion, it was this girl named Jordan.
Who's that?
I mean, it was girls before that, but it's like after the abortion, it was just like too much for me to handle, and it was just like Jordan, and then the Jocelyn girl, and then the cat girl, and then just recently Lori Harvey,
Steve Harvey's.
Yo, all of y'all niggas is talking about pray for Alex Fine. That nigga was a trainer, nigga, doing chin-ups for fucking money, and now he's up 30 million with his wife. He married into richness, or he took Diddy's girl, and now they both got a bag. Lori Harvey. Ain't Lori Harvey with that nigga from Snowfall or whatever the fuck? Or is she still with Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah, she with the nigga.
Why y'all don't look at Michael B. Jordan or the other nigga like how y'all look at Alex Fine? They're getting a former freak off a tender. Why y'all don't look at the rappers who be with Young Miami like how y'all look at Cassie? You think that, let me tell you this, a nigga like Diddy, he never got less freakier. He only got more. So whatever you think he did to Cassie, he did to the chicks after too. Let's keep it a beat. If he pissed on them, he pissed on all of them. Pee was going everywhere. It's time for urine. Let's keep it a beam. Y'all not picking and choosing because Cassie took the stand and told y'all what it is. Young Miami tried to tell y'all she got pissed on. Y'all clowned her and she took it back. You think Lori Harvey never tasted no pee? Come on, bro. Come on, dog. You think Diddy got less freaky over the years or more? The nigga they searched the nigga house on a federal warrant, and he came to New York to prepare to get arrested or indicted, and he still had freak off supplies in the hotel. He never got less freaky. He always got more. So if he did that to Cassie back in 2010, I imagine he pissed on her, pissed on Young Miami, pissed on Lori Harvey, pissed on whoever the Jordan. Everybody got pissed. Piss everywhere. And they always massaging the fucking semen in his nipples. Let's keep it a beam. Chat, you know how us men are. We ain't on no Diddy shit, pause. But you know how us men are. You date that one eater that know how to suck you into next week, you can't even fuck with a bitch afterwards that don't give good head. Come on, man. Niggas don't, like, once you start getting used to certain shit, you can't even fuck with a chick that, if you fuck with a chick that give good head, you can't fuck with a chick that don't give head. Bro, you won't even be happy. You start cheating from day one. Day one, you start cheating. Trust. So I'm telling you, if Diddy was getting his booty hole tickled, he was getting man milk rubbed on him, whatever he was getting lathered up in, bro, he didn't just stop after Cassie saying, you know, I'm done with this type of shit. Let me go do some regular shit. Fuck no. Fuck no. It only gets progressively worse. Somebody said, I'm eating, bro. Shit. No, now niggas sometimes graduate. That nigga could have been like, yo, fuck the semen, take that nigga doodle and rub it on me. Who knows, nigga? A mud bath. We don't know. Diddy was freaky. If she, like, we gotta hook her ass up to a lie detector test. Did Diddy piss on you? Diddy piss on all these chicks, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Stepdaughter.
Yeah. We was here in Atlanta for Super Bowl.
Okay, let me get back to the tweets, gang. So they explaining why the police came, why they didn't arrest nobody. It looked like Cassie held it down. And that's what I do want to say, as much as sometimes people want to say, yo, you know, I have to have that little carve out for Cassie. It's not necessarily a sweet spot. Pause. It's not simping. We gotta say, as much as I'm always on the train of call the police, like, bruv, like, don't wait 10 years. Like, that nigga do it in the moment, because there's a lot of, like, how we got bitches coming back from the 90s claiming that they got raped, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, you, bitch, that's like 40 years ago. How the hell? They be like, yeah. And the niggas they be accusing, like, nigga, they accuse like Smokey Robinson. They be accusing some niggas like who dead senile now. Like, what are we talking about? Yeah, Russell Wilson fucked me back in the 80s. Nigga, what? And you ain't say nothing for 50 years? Why we hearing about this shit now? That's like, I understand that mentality. But the thing with Cassie, I do have a lot of grace for her. When you hear the story, it's not that it was only like, all right, like, yeah, I do think part of it was that she knew this was the bag. She's not trying to fuck it up. She knew she was going to go back. She's even said with the freak offs, yo, I had to do it because I didn't want him to do it with another bitch. Cool. One thing I do notice, yo, Cassie was saving this nigga, bro. Like, yo, after the hotel incident, Diddy's calling her, yo, they're locking me up. Yo, that's him smoke signal telling her, like, yo, you going to let them lock me up? Like, yo, pick up for me. This is after he just gave her a little Reese 300 combination, and he just kicked a 60-yard field goal with her noggin. You get what I'm saying? She was holding nigga down. Bro, they come to her door. Her face is fucked up. The nigga was beating on the door with a hammer, and they ask her for a name, and she won't give a name. You gotta look at Cassie and be like, bro, again, I'm not saying, I'm just saying she definitely held it down for that nigga, man. You could tell she was trying to, I'm not saying she wasn't there for the bread, but I think part of it was like, she would definitely take a gun charge. Like, I think he got rid of J-Lo. I think J-Lo was down to snitch on his ass. I think the first time some real shit happened, when they had to shoot up that club, and he had brought the gun in J-Lo's purse, and supposedly J-Lo threw it out of it, whatever the fuck happened. I think J-Lo was just like, bitch, you forgot my skin complexion and forgot yours. I know I'm Jenny from the Bronx, but nigga, I would go up there and sing like Tweety Bird and get you the fuck out of here. After that, I think that nigga realized no more famous bitches. Second of all, because if she got a career, she'll definitely turn on you. So you got to get one of them, like, you know what I mean, with like a fucking, one of them little visas that she might have to get deported or some shit. She just relies solely on you. Without you, there's nothing going on for her. And I think after that, he probably just realized, like, bro, you got to pick the girls in a different type of way. Because the way how Cassie was, Cassie looked like she would have went to jail for that nigga. And that's what makes me look at her testimony a little bit different. The only thing is, I don't know if I look at it different enough to say she got sex trafficked. I do think she dealt with abuse, 100%. I ain't gonna sit here and say, oh, no, she ain't deal with abuse. She definitely dealt with abuse. Is that abuse sex trafficking? I don't know, because I think she was a freak too. I think she was a full-on fucking freak. Anyway, Agnew says, you two were best friends for 18 years, but now you haven't spoke to her since 2018? What's going on? Carrie says, true. Agnew says that the danger of being Captain Obvious, that's a long time. She's moved on. And AUSA says, objection. Agnew says, why haven't you spoken with her? Carrie says, she did not support me after Sean assaulted me. I tried that line at assault. Or I drew that line at assault. Agnew says, did you reach a settlement with Mrs. Ventura? Carrie says, Diddy paid it, basically through Cassie. Right? Remember, she was about to sue them after Diddy throws a hanger, hits her behind the ear. I don't know, maybe there's a gash, bleeding, scar. Cassie don't say nothing because Cassie ain't about to go against her daddy. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, everybody know that one homegirl. Like, she gonna defend her man right or wrong, and she'll go against her friends. You get what I'm saying? And that was Cassie. So Cassie just didn't speak up for her. She said she can't be cool with Cassie no more. And you know why she probably couldn't be cool with Cassie no more too? There probably was mad times Cassie came to her crying about Diddy, and she was standing up for Cassie. Like, maybe even if they were all around, she would say something like, yo, why are you doing that? Like, so she felt she was standing up for Cassie, giving Cassie good advice. Also, here's the thing too. The girlfriend of your girl, all she hears is your girl talking shit about you. Trust. Your girl talks shit about you to her friends. So Carrie's probably thinking, damn, when you come over here, you be telling me how he ain't shit, he cheating. Oh, he put his hands on you. Now when he put his hands on me, you gonna stay quiet and defend him? Or, this is crazy. I'm good. And in reality, there's mad women like that. Because a bitch rather lose a friend more than lose a man. A lot of these chicks, listen, never make it and this is all my chat queens. You know that one or two friends in your friend group. Never come between her and her dick. She will definitely pick her man who she claims, she tells y'all he cheated on her, he beat her, he did A, B, and C. But if it becomes you or her, or you or her man, you don't got a fucking chance. You don't got a chance. So I think that was going on there. But she got offended because whatever. And then she started playing hardball like, yo, I need some bread. And then Diddy probably said, yo, Cassie. And this is another thing about Diddy. You could tell Diddy never wanted to handle none of these situations himself. It's like Diddy was smart enough, but dumb enough. I'm going to tell you why. Smart enough to possibly foresee the day that today comes where these people are going to be like, Sean, you gave me a settlement. Yo, you dealt with, he had Cassie do a lot of the stuff. Cassie, you go hire the prostitutes. Yeah, I want this one with the big cock, pause. But you hire them. Like, it would have Cassie do the bidding that if anything come back, Cassie name is on the thing. Hey, we're going to pay you a settlement, but you're getting a settlement from Cassie. So he was smart enough to try to keep his name off of shit, but just dumb enough that he was doing it, period, right? Let's keep it going. Okay. I see someone here that says, didn't Cassie say she paid half of it? That's what she had claimed. But Morgan is almost saying, nah. And by the way, let's think about this. In a roundabout way, it's all Diddy's money. Shorty didn't have a job except freaking off. How the fuck was she going to pay? I think the implied meaning here is that Morgan knows the majority, not majority, all the money came from Combs, even if Cassie supposedly paid with her own money, it's her money that was given to her by Diddy. Right? Anyway. Okay. Still rocking out here waiting for another tweet.
He invited me to come, and I did, and we were staying at this house he rented out, and we were having parties the whole weekend, and she had came over, and I noticed that they were gone for like a long time, and I was like looking everywhere for them, asking like everyone if they seen him, and everyone just told him no. But then like I remember like I like turned around and I saw him, and then I looked this way and then I saw her. Like they reappeared together. I mean, separately, but like reappeared at the same time. Because I was looking for her too. At the same time I was looking for him, because I suspected that he like snuck away with her.
I'm opening up.
And now she's like at family functions, and like he invites her to his events and stuff in Miami, and they was just in Virginia not too long ago.
Wow. Now, I know you had mentioned there was pictures of girls that you found, like naked photos of girls and stuff, like while you guys were together.
Mm-hmm. Like his nanny or whatever, her name was like Nikki. I saw like her sending him pictures of her vagina to his phone, and I asked him, and he was like, well, what do you expect? You're fucking with a rock star. Like that's what he would say to me.
A rock star.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Or superstar, whatever he said.
What about like of any other of the women that you just named?
Oh, and on my birthday, he had shown me a picture of me and him. That the first pic that we ever took, and I was like, you should save that as your screensaver. So he was like, I don't know how. So I was trying to show him, and I saved the picture to his photo album on his phone, and then I clicked on the photo album to like set it as a screensaver, and I saw a picture of him and Lori, like the same exact pose.
What do you mean?
I mean, the same exact pose that he took with me.
Okay.
And he did the same with Lori.
Were they clothed or not?
No.
They weren't clothed?
No.
Lori Harvey.
I mean, I didn't see the whole body. I just seen like up here, up. I mean, like up,
okay,
like from her chest and up.
And did you ever have any problems with Lori?
No, I don't have any more problems with her.
Or any of the other women?
No.
Because I know you said Cassie was, of course, very respectful, but she still wanted you to step back.
Yeah, no. I mean, it makes me angry a little bit, but I know that it's not their fault.
Okay.
So I don't have any. I'm not angry with them.
Wow. Now I kind of hate to bring this up, but if Diddy is messing with Lori, wasn't his son Justin messing with Lori as well?
I'm not sure what their relationship was, but I know that Justin was trying to talk to her when we were here at Super Bowl.
Wow. So does his family know about you? Have you met his family? Have you lived in the houses? Because I know he has a few houses and things like that. So.
No, I never lived in his house, but yeah, I know his whole entire family.
Okay. And so the family knew about you and Cassie at the same time.
Man, bench players talking like starters. I hate it, man. Yo, side things talking like wifeys, man. Like, yo, bruv. Yo, you're on a team with Cassie, who's the freak off specialist. Like, yo, she's like she's the captain of the freak off squad. You could do whatever the fuck you want with her. She got the most experience lathering up nipples with motherfucking baby batter. You got Lori Harvey. Like, yo, I ain't even gonna lie to you. Yo, freaking off Steve Harvey's stepdaughter is crazy. That's crazy. I wonder if Steve Harvey ever said anything to that nigga Puff. Like, nigga, leave my fucking daughter alone, you fucking creep. I wonder if he ever said some shit like that. Because Steve Harvey, let me see, Steve Harvey and who? Diddy. Where the fuck Steve Harvey been at?
Nigga retired, man. Nigga old as fuck.
Whatever.
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you ever, I guess, feel any sort of anger towards Cassie?
Mm-mm.
Never.
I mean, I felt like a little jealous, like wishing that I could
be her,
do the things that she get to do with him.
Yo.
Mm.
Okay, chat. No. I know I'm making I'm not trying to make light of it, but just keeping the beam, man. Yeah, I feel like all these bitches were just kind of like fighting for spots on the roster. Like, the nigga not sex trafficking. He's just juggling hoes. Like, yo, come on, chat. They all jealous of each other.
Facts.
Cassie was jealous of her.
Facts.
She's 22.
Academics.
Cassie's 30. You feel what I'm saying? Cassie's trying to do more and more freak off. Even when Cassie was supposed to age out of the freak offism, Cassie's saying, yo, I got to keep doing it because he might do it with another girl. This chick is like, man, yeah, he blowing my back out. I'm freaking off, but like, he don't bring me in public. I want to go in public. You know what I mean? Like, all of these, it sounds like a nigga juggling a roster. Now, does he look like he was trying to lay the pimp hand down? Yeah. We don't agree with that. We don't like violence against women. He definitely beat the brakes and pulverized some of these women, and we think that completely foul. But a lot of what I'm hearing sound like it's a nigga who was juggling a roster of women, and we also got to remember, I think Diddy like men, niggas, rappers. I think he got to, yo, I feel like, chat, you could name them in the chat. There's a few rappers today, like sipping their tea, like, you tell him, sis, I was going through the same thing. I always wanted to be like him. At least he got to be in the pool. I never got to be in the pool. He never told me I was scrambling. I know. You tell him, sis, I'm going through the same. I think Diddy had a roster of bitches and niggas. My opinion, I could be wrong. They were all jealous of each other. A bunch of side niggas and side bitches fighting over the Lubriderm, the Astroglide, and the motherfucking baby oil, chat. We gotta call a spade a spade. All of these niggas wanted to be the main nigga. All of these bitches wanted to be the main. And even the ones that were like the main were jealous of the time he was spent with the other ones or the younger ones. Chat, keep it a bean, bro. I'm not even being funny. I know something. I ain't just saying in comment. This is chat. Diddy had a whole thing. Diddy was on his Leonardo DiCaprio shit. Yo, Cassie, you getting old. I need a new 22-year-old. Let's swap him out. Y'all know which rapper he was partying with first, and then he swapped them out for a young tenderoni rapper that screamed like he in the passenger. Come on. Like, come on, chat. He was always swapping them out. We seen some of these things in yo. That one conversation, I was watching Drink Champs. I'm like, why does this look like a Hey Big Head conversation? What the fuck? Yo, what the? In so many words, all I heard this nigga say was, hey, Big Head. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this nigga talking about right now, gang? What is this? Is somebody... Diddy had a roster of men and women. Both of them, I don't know what he did to them. They're all insecure. They all want to be number one. And they all, I don't know about the men, but they all wanted to have his kids. Maybe some of these niggas thought they could have kids. I don't know. But she wanted to have his kids. Cassie wanted to have his kids. And we got to figure out, Lori Harvey's the only one that kept it P. Lori Harvey moved on to her like fourth or fifth nigga. You know what Lori probably did? Listen, right now I'm ad-libbing, or I'm just riffing. So I'm going to just say allegedly. No lawsuits. Let's get it.
Allegedly.
You see, these chicks, they know how to, let me tell you this. I think Young Miami and Lori Harvey knew how to play with a nigga like Diddy. These chicks, they were so docile. Diddy would come in here and be like, bitch, you fucked up my eggs. Slap. Right hook. I don't agree with these things. I'm just trying to tell you how he was coming. I don't think Young Miami was getting no right hook. I think Young Miami was knowing how to play it.
Definitely
and
getting
treat him like a trick. And then
that's
I
what he
think Lori
was.
Harvey
A trick.
was like, oh, you think you could play with me, huh? You think you gonna play with me? I'm fucking your son. Over. It's over now. She done put a pussy on your son. All that shit, what you gonna do? Kill your son? She put a pussy on your son. You start playing with her, acting like she wanted to, like she a option, like, you know, he over here juggling a bunch of bitches.
Nah, she was with
said,
the
all right, I'm
son
gonna put
first,
pussy
though,
on your son now.
She was with the son first. And
You
then
know
she
Diddy
got
was going
with
crazy.
Pops.
Come on now.
The son with the bush, and she was like, all right, I'm going to put the pussy on your Pops. That's
Diddy
what
fuck with the
that's what
right
happened.
one with Young Miami and Lori Harvey. Lori Harvey said enough is enough, fucked his son, dipped out. Young Miami, you could tell that Lloyd boisterous bitch. You can't like you shit. You might have to have a shootout with her, man. I don't know. Like it don't look like her voice even annoying. She don't even sound docile. It sounds like you gonna be arguing with this bitch all day, man. Like this chick right here. When you raise your voice, he says, "Shut the fuck up." You don't hear, nigga. She tiptoed to the bathroom after that, nigga. She even put her phone on silent, nigga. She don't even want to hear. Bing. She don't want none of that. She just. You could tell Cassie, one of them chicks. You say. Bitch, if I will slap the nigga, trust. Young Miami, you gotta go get one of them ratchet bitches. You got to fight her, man, because this chick on some other shit, man. Like, chat, we men, we know who we could try. We know who we could try. By her voice, I could tell. Yo, you run shit with this chick right here. You run shit with her. You don't even ask her. You tell her. Yo, tonight we having a threesome. Matter of fact, I got 2 hoes in town, foursome. Let's get it. You tell her what's going on. With Young Miami's like, bitch, you gotta take me shopping, period. Like, yeah, and that bitch, she can't, like, so much mouth. I'm like, oh my God. Bitch, you better Rolls Royce me. Like, yeah, I could tell, like, little ratchet hole. I don't even know why I didn't even fuck with her. I'm like, chick like that, man. She just running through your credit cards, nigga. You need a chick like this. She over here searching for loving babies. All you got to do is pop in Plan Bs and back to Planned Parenthood every 4 weeks. Sorry. Y'all niggas know what it is. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all be acting like y'all don't know. Like, come on.
You know, like,
and what did you ever talk
stuff.
Did you ever talk to Diddy about that?
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He don't care. I just had to play my position.
Hold on, I want me to laugh. I don't mean to laugh, but like it just goes into. That's why I keep telling y'all. Like, yeah, I think Diddy know we could try.
What type of did he ever talk to you about him and Cassie's relationship?
No, he always spoke highly of Cassie.
Did Cassie know about your pregnancies? Do you think? No.
No one knew until now.
Okay. So,
yo, obviously, the more and more this goes on, I see why Diddy wanted to get me knocked off over. Yo, when Diddy hit me up like I was fucking up his pimp game, like, shit. If I knew all this shit I knew now, nigga, I would apologize to that nigga and send her a side chick gift and send him just a player gift. You get what I'm saying?
the video is out. Everyone obviously knows while watching this interview that you did upload the videos out of spite to actually prove that you and Diddy
for the purpose of sexual pleasure. So that would kind of look like sex trafficking. Now, this is why, remember the defense when asking Cassie questions directly, they asked Cassie, they were like, what were the questions they asked? They asked Cassie, oh, did he love you? Did he do this? They were trying to establish that you guys just had a relationship, right? Like the government is trying to make your relationship look like sex trafficking, but no, you guys had a relationship. You cooked for him. Y'all went out on dates. He told you how much he loved you. He, whatever. It just happened to be violent and toxic and a lot of cheating, right? So AUSA says nothing further. It says, is there a recross? They says now, or maybe it's no. So there was no recross to that. Next witness is David James. Remember, this is a former assistant of Combs, and AUSA says, why are you here? James says, I've been subpoenaed. And so were you Combs' personal assistant? They said, yes, from 2007 to 2009. Keep in mind, 2007 is when Cassie and Diddy locked in. AUSA says, who is this in a photo? David James says, that is David James. AUSA says, that's yourself, correct? And the person says, yes. Okay. Waiting for another tweet.
It was like, I felt, I mean, it wasn't like nothing new to me that, cause it's like now that I know Puff, I was like, he would do some shit like that to me because he's done so many fucked up things to me. But it's just like I posted a video of us loving each other. You know, it's not like I didn't say anything. I just posted videos and pictures of us loving each other. Nothing else.
And why do you think?
Shorty, you're the side chick. Like, bruv, you get love in private. Yo, these chicks are like thoroughly confused. Bruv, I have my main girl that I'm a famous mogul. For better or for worse, they're associating me with Cassie. You're getting dick, and yes, I love you. I probably tell you I love you, but this is private, okay? We could send videos and pictures to each other. Like, you could show your friends. Maybe, like, don't even post it on your Finsta, bro. Like, yo, you're embarrassing me now. Like, what's up? Like, you're the side thing. Stop it. Talking about I only posted videos of us loving each other. Yeah, this is a secret.
Anything. I just posted videos and pictures of us loving each other. Nothing else.
Yeah, you just snitched on me. That's what you see. All that posted was me showing you love and told on me. That's what you did. Fucking told on me.
That, because it's like now that I know Puff, I was like, he would do some shit like that to me because he's done so many fucked up things to me. But it's just like I posted a video of us loving each other. You know, it's not like I didn't say anything. I just posted videos and pictures of us loving each other. Nothing else.
And why?
I don't even know if it feel like Diddy wasn't even trying to give game like that or like spit game. I feel like these chicks are like willfully ignorant. Yo, how could you think Diddy's your man or he would want to stand by you posting pictures of him when in the media it's flooded with him and a different woman? And why do you think that Diddy wouldn't post the pictures himself if he wanted that to be known? Just play your role.
Why do you think he, I guess, seems like he was trying to fix it? Why do you think he was trying to fix it? Like, I guess this, I guess the publicity that was surrounding the videos and pictures that you uploaded. Why would he say to you that TMZ is trying to fix, like, I guess is working on a story?
Hey, okay, I've seen some people in the shout out to people in Kick Chat, man. Y'all really going crazy. I do I have the King Academic chat up open too? Shout out to my peeps over there. All right. Do y'all want me to do the side topic real quick? We're waiting for more tweets. We're not fully there yet. So we're gonna let a few tweets kind of back up. Remember, we're done with Kerry Morgan. That's the best friend. Now this is Combs' former personal assistant between 2007 2009. That's David James. It's probably going to take like 5 to 10 minutes for us to get like a good amount of tweets to read consistently and understand what's going on. I could do a real quick topic. I've seen some people in here.
Day 6. Diddy.
By the way, before we do this, let's get up to date with our tweets. Okay. So David James is a new witness. They're there. And basically, David James says, that's me in the photo, right? He then says, I went to college in Michigan. I later faxed my resume to Bad Boy Records. I said, where was the interview? 710 Broadway. So who'd you meet with? I met with Tommy and his sister Keisha and others. They said, how did they test you? He says, well, they gave me 40 appointments and asked me to make a schedule. You know, for example, what time a particular show on Hot 97 came on. And AUSA says, what did Mr. Combs ask you? He said, to make a spreadsheet for Miami. David Jones says, I said, I know his food and restaurants preferences. He asked me, why did I make a good assistant? I said, can't stop, won't stop. And I got the job. He said, were there others? He says, yes. Miss Robles, Mr. Barber, and others. Okay. He says, what would you do as an assistant? He says, bad boy to 5, then out to dinner, then to studio at 3 a.m. We'd get called at any time of the night. Okay. AUSA says, did you travel with him as well? Says, yes. So who was the security staff? D-Rock, Bonds, Uncle Paulie. AUSA says, you work 20 hours a day? It says, yes. Security did 2. So what did security staff tell you? He said, to stay in my lane. Who said that? Bond and Uncle Paulie. AUSA says, focusing on his personal chef, says Chef Jordan, who's now Jordan Atkinson, which, by the way, this chef is also expected to take the stand at some point. Let's Google to make sure that's the same chef. Diddy. Let's see if the same chef that okay, I do think we'll find out more later. Is this celeb chef? This is her.
My bills. But I actually decided to say for Floyd Mayweather.
What's the most memorable meal you've ever prepared?
I'd have to say for Floyd Mayweather. I was with him for 3 or 4 training camps, so it's like,
holy shit, yo, chat. You know, Floyd got like a roster of hosts too. You think Floyd? Oh, I hope they don't get Floyd. Oh no. If we're trying to say these are men who probably got too old, still was running around here trying to have a roster of 10 chicks, lying, deceiving, obviously violent. And now, shit, sex trafficking, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Flying chicks left, right, and center. And
a part of history at the time.
That's amazing.
What keeps me motivated? My bills. But I actually decided at 19 years old that I'm a chef. Sean P. Diddy Combs, Puffy, Puff Daddy, was my first celebrity client.
You have a specialty?
High profile clients right now, they want things to be clean. A lot of people are doing paleo, gluten-free.
Okay, all right. AUSA says, did Mr. Combs have girlfriends then? Personal assistants, he says, yes. Kim Porter, Sarah, Tara, oh my God, Yana, and Cassie. Told you my boy had a roster, 5 of them. Got a good roster right there. Kim Porter, Sarah, Tara. Who's Tara? And who's Sarah? Yana and Cassie. What was your first conversation with Cassie? We were on Star Island. Kerry Morgan was there too. Cassie said, this lifestyle is crazy. David James says, I asked her, why don't you leave? She says, Sean controls my life, my music. He pays for my apartment. AUSA says the next conversation with her, David James says it was about her music, but the album never came out. AUSA says, did you overhear a conversation? David James says, yes. David James says, Mr. Combs said, Kim is my queen. Out in LA with my family, he said, I have Cassie where I want her. Ooh, okay, so he was breaking down his thing. Say, Kim is my queen in LA with my family. Cassie, I got her right where I want her. She's my young, moldable chick. Okay? AUSA says, Your Honor, how much longer do you want to go? This would be a good place to break. The judge says we'll break for the day. Oh, my God, it's an early day. Now, there's more. Agnathulia says, MDC Brooklyn makes us end VCT at 6 p.m. We need more. Ending at 3 p.m. ends helps if you can extend it. The judge says put a letter in the docket, okay? Okay. What is this? Let me... What's VCT calls? Oh. Is that visiting calls? Oh, that's video teleconferencing. Oh, wow. So it looks like they called court earlier today. They probably raised this issue in the morning. We didn't get it written out. It appears that Diddy's lawyers are saying we need to speak with our client beyond being in court. If we end at 5, by the time he gets back to the jail, we can't even have a conference. Like, he's shut down for the night. We get him back in the morning, but we can't really talk to the guy other than during lunch. So we want some time to prepare for him with video calls, clearly. And they're now agreeing that ending at 3 p.m. probably is going to work out that everybody could get to wherever they need to go to at 4 and maybe have a call for at least an hour. Wow. That's interesting. Interesting. Okay, people. Let me play this guy. Describe the date or his input. It's my guy, friend of mine, Bradford Cohen. This is him. He gives real good legal insight. By the way, one of the best lawyers in the land.
On Sean Diddy Combs. So today, Dawn Richards is going to continue testifying. She is a member of Danity Kane. Danity Kane is a group that was managed by Sean Combs. And if you remember, he's never been easy on any of his groups. I don't know if anybody remembers Making the Band. I remember wasting my life away watching Making the Band. And he made people cross over the Brooklyn Bridge to get him Junior's cheesecake. He's a very difficult manager. He's a very difficult guy to deal with. And I think that is kind of going to be highlighted by the defense here. I don't know if...
Yo, chat, let me ask that gentleman a question. Well, I asked my chat. Now, granted, I'm asking this in a very tongue-in-cheek way. I don't mean to be insensitive or anything about it, so I got to give a disclaimer. But if you a woman that were around at that time, and you see how horny Diddy was, he was having freak-offs for 4 straight days. If Diddy never tried to get you in a freak-off or never tried to fuck you, would you feel like, yo, damn, I really wasn't pretty? Because I'm like, yo, ain't no way he tried Babs Bunny. Right? Like, yo, I don't think he tried, like, them hoodlums that was in Making a Band, or The Band, that's what it was called. I don't think he was trying to get Babs Bunny no fucking freak off. I can't see him saying, yo, we need Freddie P from Miami to fuck Cassie while I watched. Nor Lean Belly Ines. Or I can't be like, yo, Chopper, yo, take that Chopper suit off and come fuck my bitch. I can't see that neither. And I can't imagine him saying, yo, right now, we need an island man to come fuck her. I rip and I rhyme, and I rape. This is the way Dylan spits. Sarah did look good, though. Sarah did look good type shit. Sarah did look good. But the rest of these hoodlums, hell no. Hell no.
there's going to be a lot of bias here because
he does look like Dana White. You're right.
She was treated in a way that she felt was disrespectful in terms of money, in terms that she didn't get paid for things, in terms of that she witnessed things that she didn't want to witness. She says that she witnessed him hitting Cassie with a frying pan with eggs in it, never reported it, never called the police, never had a text with Cassie about it, never had a text with friends about it. I think that's unusual because you think she would at least tell her friends about it. Cassie's testimony last week wrapped up with a lot from the defense just smoking her on.
Is that a fair thing to say, Chad? Do you believe there's a world where they're so scared of Diddy that somebody I ain't gonna lie to you. Yo, somebody get hit with a frying pan around me, my group chat is on fire. Actually, I don't really got group chats like that, but for the group chat people. Like, yo, I'll be on Discord. So I'll be like, yo, I'll be on Discord telling that story a lot. Yo, this nigga Diddy slapped the bitch with a frying pan, nigga. Like, this shit was crazy. A frying pan? Yo, slapping somebody with a frying pan is crazy. I'm telling everybody. But I do have a big mouth. Pause. I say it looked like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stop it, man.
Different texts that she wrote about that she loved the freak off, that she wanted to do freak offs during the week, not just a weekend. The amount of settlement that was made by her for $20 million with Sean Combs, and then $10 million against the hotel. So she got $30 million there, and I'm sure her lawyer got $10 million of that $30 million. So he probably bought himself a Ferrari or maybe a Porsche. He might be a Porsche guy. Long story short is I think it's going well for the defense. You never know on these cases. It's very early in the case, so we'll never actually find out what's going on until the end of the trial. But you could say on the scoreboard, the defense is definitely putting up some points.
I score this, chat. I score this, so I'm gonna score like boxing. I'm gonna score week by week. I think last week was a 10-9 week for the defense, and the reason why I scored a 10-9 is that this is a round they should have never won. And this is why I think they're up heavily. You know, one of those people who get gas quick, but they give you all they got. They throw mad punches mad quick. So really, they're supposed to win the first round, but they'll get tired later. I think the defense brought up Cassie, right? That's the main witness. I think last week should have been a 10-8 for the defense. Where it's like, whoa, not for the defense, for the prosecutors, where Diddy's like, whoa, we're gonna have to step it up to recover from this because Cassie crying, detailing these freak offs. She's a known public, let's not say famous, but like she's known, right? She's a known victim. People seeing that video, Diddy needs to have a strong next week. And I left the week by saying, Diddy had the better week. So I scored it like that. Looks like he agrees.
All right.
Okay. All right. Looks like I think we're on a break. Not sure if it's lunch. Okay, it's not lunch. Okay, so good. So the jury enters back in. The government calls Kerry Morgan. Kerry Morgan is the former best friend of Cassie. Kerry Morgan says she lives in Los Angeles. AUSA says, who is this? She says, Cassie Ventura. And so what's your relationship? She says, well, we were best friends. Her boyfriend assaulted me, meaning Diddy. AUSA says, do you see him here? She says, yep, right over there. That nigga right here, grayed up in the yellow sweater, okay? AUSA says, let the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant, Sean Combs. AUSA says, why are you here? She says, I got a subpoena. AUSA says, where did you live with Cassie? She says, in Manhattan. AUSA says, did Cassie drink? Kerry says, not much. AUSA says, any drugs? Kerry Morgan says, none. Whoa, this is actually important. I'm going to pause this by saying this is important in the sense of we've just heard that Cassie went to rehab. We've heard that Cassie was heavily under the influence of drugs. How could her best friend not know? Now, I'm guessing this is a government asking something that could hurt their case, right? They're saying she doesn't drink that much, whatever. Well, it could help their case in the sense of saying, Diddy forced her to take drugs, and that's why her friends never seen her take drugs outside of being with Diddy. And that is one of the arguments they're trying to make. They're saying behavior that she exemplified or did with Diddy, she never did outside of being with Diddy. For example, she never did a freak off unless it was with Diddy. And yes, she did do freak offs while she was dating other people with Diddy, but she never did a freak off with anybody else. That didn't include Diddy, right? So maybe they're trying to say, yeah, this woman wasn't really a druggie. Diddy got her hooked on drugs to control her. And that's why she was taking drugs around him. I didn't see her too much off drugs. Seems to be maybe the case, right? So what was she doing for work? Modeling. And she recorded Me and You. AUSA says, when did you learn they were dating? 2007. AUSA says, did you travel with Cassie and Mr. Combs? She says, yes. We went to Ibiza, Miami. AUSA says, what drugs did Combs provide? Molly, marijuana, ecstasy. AUSA says, which of them did Combs take? She says, all. Did you take any drugs along with Cassie? She says,
Rod Wave shot his girlfriend truck up 14 times.
All right.
What the fuck? Allegedly
By the way,
news.
it's we don't know who are the other witnesses.
What the fuck going on with Rod Wave?
We don't know who the other witnesses are going to be, Chad.
What the fuck going on with Rod Wave? Breaking news, allegedly news. Rod Wave got some bullshit going on.
Draft emails in an instant with AI that gets your business.
Rod Wave was arrested for allegedly firing 14 shots in a girlfriend, Minnie Barbie's G-Wagon. It says, by Spade News TV. So this is Spade News saying this. This ain't setting dash. Let me cite my source real quick.
That nigga tried to off the bitch.
Rod Wave was arrested today on 13 charges, including aggravated assault, possession of a firearm, and more after his bond on a separate charge was revoked for an incident that allegedly took place last month. Authorities say they acquired video evidence of him getting into an argument with his girlfriend and shooting her vehicle. No one was inside the vehicle. He was released on bond a few hours after being arrested today. Bruh. But it says right here, it says at 21 hours, Mr. Green, Miss Andrews, and Mr. Green's associate are then observed walking out of the residence. Mr. Green and the associate are both carrying bags and what appears to be a box from the residence as Miss Andrews follows. There was no audio.
Right, wait, what the fuck, nigga? I know this nigga ain't just do that bullshit. Now we got a motherfucking... Oh man, they gonna get this man by goddamn 3-4 years for that bullshit. I don't give a damn what.
So with the video, but it appears that Miss Andrews and Mr. Green are in a verbal argument, and it appears that Miss Andrews yells at Mr. Green. Mr. Green then pulls out a Glock 20 10mm pistol from under his left arm that he is taking from the residence. And as he walks through the garage courtyard, he opens fire at Miss Andrews' Mercedes G-Wagon, firing 14 rounds in total, emptying the pistol magazine. Miss Andrews' 2025 Mercedes G-Wagon was struck by 11 rounds. 1 round struck Miss Green's 2022, and it doesn't say the rest on there.
They're saying Rod Wave crashed out over a girl, bro. Please tell me this ain't true.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I mean, listen to the nigga music, man. If you listen to the nigga music, he telling you he willing to crash out by that.
If you listen to his songs, you might believe it. Let's go. Green, Rodarius, Marcel.
Look at this fucking count. Look at this
here.
shit. Aggravated assault, possession of a firearm or a knife during a commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies, pointing or aiming gun or pistol at another, reckless conduct, criminal damages to property, 2nd degree, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, misdemeanor. So he ran from tampering with evidence, possession of fire. Damn, he got 2 counts of that. Damn, he got like 2 counts of the same shit. But like, damn, that's fucked up.
He got arrested in Atlanta, so y'all know he was to Fulton County. Or you can just look up to the right.
Man, you got to deal with
black male, 5'8", 300 pounds. I promise you, that boy is at least 360, bare minimum. Anyways, let's do it. So it says aggravated assault.
You know what?
Possession of fire.
I'm glad you ain't do that shit in Florida. I'm glad if you crashed out, nigga, you gonna crash out up there in Georgia like that. you might be lucky enough to get probation up there. Because down here, nigga, yeah, we're going to do
firearm or knife during commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies, pointing or aiming gun or pistol at another, reckless conduct, criminal damage to property, second degree, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, misdemeanor, tampering with evidence, felony, possession of firearm or knife during commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies, simple assault, reckless conduct, criminal damage to property, second degree, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, misdemeanor, tampering with evidence, felony, conspiracy to commit a felony.
They just double that shit up on them.
How that song go? I did it all for you. Yeah. Now, you know the hood lawyer gonna mess around and do exactly what these other channels won't. But if you can, man, hit the like button like you like something. Let's get into the sentencing guidelines for all of these felonies. God, dog. Is a Georgia aggravated assault is a felony defined as assaulting someone with the intent to murder or rob them by using a deadly weapon or object that could cause serious bodily injury. It carries a sentence of 1 to 20 years in prison, and fines can range up to $100,000 according to the Georgia criminal law. In Georgia,
one thing about it, y'all see how much the fine is. He's gonna pay. He's gonna get that shit gone. Nobody was hurt. He's gonna do probation. He's not gonna do no time. This is Rod Wave. He don't do all that bullshit in the music about goddamn running down. He don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So the nigga blessed, man. I'm glad he ain't killed her. I'm glad she lives. Cause boy, look.
Possessing a firearm or knife during a commission of or attempt to.
Can you imagine that shit, bro? This nigga got down killing the bitch. Like, you hear that shit. Like, that shit wouldn't even sound true, right? That shit would sound fucked up. You hear that shit? Man, you know Rod Wave done killed the bitch. He shot the bitch truck up 14 times. What? Nigga look like, what is the world coming to? Rod Wave? The same rapper nigga from what? Shot a bitch shit up 14 times. Must have told her, I don't know how you get down with them clowns, but I'm a soldier. Don't try me like that.
Carries a penalty of 5 years in prison for a first conviction, says Georgia criminal lawyer. A second conviction, the penalty increases to 10 years. The sentencing is served consecutively to any sentence the individual receives. Now, this one says misdemeanor, so we'll only read the misdemeanor for now. In Georgia, reckless conduct is a misdemeanor offense, meaning it is punishable by up to 12 months in jail and a $1,000 fine. However, more serious penalties, including prison time, can be applied if the reckless conduct also results in injury or other serious harm.
I hope the feds don't pick this boy up because I know he has some shit going on. I know he has some shit going on down here too a while ago. Not too long, a couple, like what, 8-7 months ago or some shit. I know there was some other shit going on. But no, he'll be straight. This seems like it's an isolated
aberration, misdemeanor. Reckless conduct is generally classified as a misdemeanor in Georgia, carrying a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and a $1,000 fine. In Georgia, a conviction for criminal damage to property in the second degree, OCGA 16-7-23, results in a prison sentence of 1 to 5 years. It is considered a felony. The punishment also includes a fine. The state must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that damage exceeded $500 and was intentional. Elaboration, sentencing. Now understand this is the second degree. So a person convicted of criminal damage to property in the second degree in Georgia faces a prison sentence of at least 1 year and up to 5 years. Additionally, they may be required to pay a fine. In Georgia, willfully obstructing a law enforcement officer is a misdemeanor offense under OCGA 16-10-24, punishable by a fine up to $1,000 and or jail time up to 1 year. This includes situations where an individual knowingly or willfully interferes with an officer's lawful duties, such as by giving false information or otherwise hindering the officer's actions. Elements of the offense: intent. The individual must have knowingly and willfully committed the act of obstruction, interference. The act must obstruct or hinder a law enforcement officer. Lawful duties. The officer must be in the lawful discharge of their duties. Examples of obstruction. This gets good. Lying to an officer about your identity or whereabouts, giving false information to an officer, physical interference with an officer, refusal to comply with an officer's lawful order, which I probably think that one right there is more than likely the one that he did. Possible penalties, fine up to $1,000, jail time up to 1 year, community service, and anger management classes. Defense strategies. Lack of intent. If the individual did not intentionally obstruct the officer, it may be a defense. Freedom of speech, simply questioning or disagreeing with an officer is not typically a crime, according to a criminal defense lawyer. Innocence, if the individual was not actually interfering with the officer's duties, they may be able to argue their innocence. Lack of evidence, if the prosecution cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the individual obstructed the officer, the charges may be dismissed. Right. Okay. In Georgia, tampering with evidence that is part of a felony case and involving another person is a felony punishable by imprisonment for 1 to 3 years or 1 to 10 years for a serious violent felony, which that's exactly what he has. So he has the 1 to 10 that they're looking at. If the case involves a misdemeanor, it's a misdemeanor offense. The specific penalties depend on the nature of the case and whether it involves a third party. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Felony punishment. If you tamper with evidence in a felony case involving another person, you face a sentence of 1 to 3 years in prison. If the felony is a serious violent felony, as defined in 17-10-6.1, the punishment is 1 to 10 years. Yeah, that's interesting right here. Let's do this one right here. I like these ones. I hate to say it this way, but these ones right here get such a detailed description that you gotta like it, right? Well, you gotta like.
Now, some of them gonna get thrown out. It's gonna be a couple of them get thrown out. Definitely gonna get thrown out of shit, but damn, Wave, that's crazy, dog. That nigga crashed out. It's been a alarming rate of crash outs going on in the world, not even just with celebrities, with everyday motherfuckers. Like, what the fuck would possess the nigga to crash out and be that mad? As a successful nigga that came from the hood, from nothing, like, man, drop a hit, man. Get in the studio, drop something, man. Do something else. Like, nigga finna fuck it up. Niggas is fucking it up at an alarming rate, man.
To know. I don't want to say that, we like this type of stuff because we don't, but it is what it is. Intent to prevent apprehension or obstruct prosecution. To be convicted of tampering with evidence, the state must prove you intended to prevent the apprehension or prosecution of someone or to obstruct their defense. This could involve destroying, altering, concealing, or disguising physical evidence, or making, devising, preparing, or planting false evidence. Increíble. Examples of tampering: destroying evidence like wiping down a vehicle.
So niggas that got shit planted on them and that was framed and shit by the police, that was tampering with evidence because they was framed. Somebody put something on them. I just heard that you could sue the motherfucking city for that.
Documentation out of the window or hiding a bullet casing are all examples of tampering with evidence. And then it says involving another person. And I think somebody had basically said he crashed out over a girl, bro. So let's take it. Involving another person. The key factor in determining the level of punishment is whether the tampering involved another person, meaning it was done to prevent their apprehension or to obstruct their prosecution, or defense says a criminal lawyer. So never mind. That ain't even going to apply to. In Georgia, possessing a knife or firearm during the commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies carries a penalty of 5 years in prison to be served consecutively to any other sentences. A second conviction for the same offense results in a 10-year prison term. This means the 5-year sentence for the weapon offense is added to the end of any sentence received for the other felony. Yeah, meaning that's going to tack on another 5. So let's get to it. Felony edition. The possession of a firearm or knife during the commission of a felony in Georgia is treated as a separate felony offense. Consecutive sentences. The 5-year prison sentence for the weapon possession is added consecutively, meaning it is served after any other sentences received for the underlying felony. I don't think he has a second offense, but it is possible. Let me look back over here because he actually does have that. That's the second one that pops up. He has it twice. So yeah, it'll be a second offense. A second conviction for this offense results in a 10-year prison sentence. which if it serves me right, Buddy already looking at 15 years based off of that. Specific crimes, the offense applies when possessing a firearm or knife during the commission or attempt to commit certain felonies, including crimes against a person, unlawful entry, or theft from a building or vehicle.
What if you can create your own website by saying
facts? Of course, he's looking at by all the charges. Of course, he's looking at a dog. We know what he's looking at, but realistically, nigga gonna pay that shit. That nigga gonna have to do by 3 though. I ain't gonna care. He gonna do by 3, get out on probation, and still be paying even after he pay. That's what's the fuck gonna happen.
This is
that nigga fucked up. That nigga fucked up. He bailed out. He better get the fuck on. He might well just go.
We ain't really gotta care about the stun guns and tasers.
He might well just go somewhere.
Well, that's crazy.
Away.
The term firearm includes stun guns and tasers. The more you know. In Georgia, reckless conduct is a misdemeanor with penalties including up to 12 months in jail and $1,000 fine. However, reckless conduct can also be a felony in certain situations. Like if it violates,
I'm getting on a boat.
If it violates, like if it involves HIV transmission or results in bodily harm. Elaboration: misdemeanor reckless conduct. A general conviction for reckless conduct in Georgia is a misdemeanor carrying potential jail time of up to 12 months and a fine of up to $1,000. Felony reckless conduct. Reckless conduct can be upgraded to a felony in specific cases such as being infected with HIV and knowingly engaging in sexual activity without disclosing your status, causing bodily harm, which can lead to a felony charge of reckless conduct causing harm. You got reckless driving, and then factors in sentencing. The court will consider various factors when determining a sentence, including the nature of the reckless conduct, the defendant's prior record, and any mitigating circumstances. In Georgia, criminal damage to property in the second degree is a felony punishable by a prison sentence of 1 to 5 years. The offense involves intentionally damaging property belonging to another without their consent, with damage exceeding $500. Additionally, it can be charged if property of any value is recklessly or intentionally damaged by fire or explosive. I highly doubt he did that. Felony, second degree criminal damage to property is a felony in Georgia. Sentence, the penalty is a prison sentence between 1 and 5 years. Damage threshold, the damage must exceed $500 for it to be charged as a second degree felony. Intent or negligence, the damage must be either intentional or recklessly caused by fire or explosive. A misdemeanor conviction for willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer can result in a fine up to $1,000 and/or jail time of up to 1 year. The court may also impose other requirements like community service or anger management classes. Elaboration: misdemeanor obstruction charges in Georgia typically apply to lesser offenses like lying, giving false information, or interfering with an officer's duties, which I'm pretty sure he did the last one. I mean, I'm not sure, but I'm just taking a guess. I think we all would guess that, right? Who guessed that with me? I'm fairly certain. Anyways, penalties for a misdemeanor conviction. The potential penalties include a fine up to $1,000 and/or jail time of up to 1 year. The court may also impose additional requirements such as community service or mandatory classes. Prior convictions punishments can be more severe if the individual has prior convictions for obstruction. Felony obstruction. If the actions involve violence or a threat of violence, the obstruction charge could be elevated to a felony with potential prison sentences of 1 to 5 years. In Georgia, tampering with evidence that involves a felony, and especially a serious violent felony, carries significant penalties, including imprisonment. Specifically, if the tampering involves a felony, the sentence can be from 1 to 3 years. If the tampering involves a serious violent felony, the sentence can be 1 to 10 years, according to Georgia law. Tampering with evidence when it relates to a felony offense is a serious crime in Georgia. The minimum punishment is 1 year in prison and the maximum is 3 years. Serious violent felony tampering, if the evidence tampering is related to a serious violent felony, the potential penalties are significantly increased. The sentencing range is from 1 to 10 years in prison, according to Georgia law. Definition of tampering. Tampering with evidence in this context means knowingly destroying, altering, concealing, or disguising physical evidence, or making, devising, preparing, or planning false evidence, as explained by a criminal lawyer. Intent requirement. There must be an intent to prevent the apprehension of a person, to cause a wrongful apprehension, or to obstruct the prosecution or defense of a person. Examples of tampering.
I just thought about something, bro. What's up with this motherfucking number 14? Bruce was stabbed in prison 14 times. And what, a fucking week later, this nigga Rod Wave shoot up the girl shit 14 times, or they say this was a month before. So this happened a month ago, and he just not got arrested for it. I don't know. Maybe I missed that.
With evidence, including wiping down a vehicle to destroy evidence, throwing documentation of a forged check out the window, or hiding a bullet casing in the trash. Yeah, that is a terrible example. This is the last one. In Georgia, conspiracy to commit a felony is a serious offense with sentencing that can range from a minimum of 1 year to 1/2 the maximum sentence for the underlying felony, along with potential fines if the conspired crime is punishable by death or life imprisonment. The sentence can range from 1 to 10 years. I don't think he's doing that. I don't think Kel's getting a life sentence. So conspiracy in Georgia, conspiracy involves an agreement between 2 or more people to commit a crime, and an overt act must be taken by at least one of them to further the conspiracy. Ooh-wee. All right. Felony conspiracy sentencing. The sentencing for conspiracy to commit a felony is generally 1 year to 1/2 the maximum sentence for the underlying felony. For example, if the felony has a maximum prison term of 10 years, the conspiracy sentence could range from 1 to 5 years. Fines can also be imposed up to 1/2 the maximum fine for the felony. Conspiracy to commit a crime punishable by death or life imprisonment. We ain't even finna do all that. Overt act. An overt act doesn't have to be a criminal act. It can be any act that furthers the conspiracy, even a legal one. Multiple charges. A person cannot be convicted of both conspiracy to commit a crime and the completed crime, but they can be charged with.
Join large-scale battles with military vehicles. The online action game War Thunder has received a major update. Direct Hit. Joining
both. Now, where do we start with this? All right, innocent until proven guilty. Let me put that out there. A lot of charges could get dropped. You know, he's not convicted. You know what I mean? Let's put that out there first. He is not convicted. That's the biggest thing I want y'all to understand. Since he's not convicted, we're not going to treat him like he's freaking convicted. Now, with that said, bruh, I ain't gonna hold you. They saying that he shot at a girl's car. Y'all, come on, bruh. If this is true, man, Rod Wave deserves everything that he gets. You have to understand, like, we do have to get to a level of understanding where we say we can be supporters. Some of y'all would even say fans of people's music. You can be that 100%.
I'm going to the beginning. I want to know
firearm and more after his bond. G-Wagon. It says by Spade News TV. So this is Spade News saying this. This ain't Seti Dash. Let me cite my source real quick. Hell nah. Rod Wave was arrested today on 13 charges.
It took place last month. That's what I'm saying. This shit took place last month. So this shit happened last month. So he's the alleged shooter, and what? They got footage of it. They got what? Evidence. And this around that time that there was a clip going around. My boy was Dolo at Waffle House over there in Atlanta and shit. But yeah, it's something up with this number 14. He got charged with 13 counts, shot up the girl shit 14 times. A week after Toriad gets stabbed 14 times. What else is this number 14 gonna come in at? That's what I'm thinking about. What's the next shit? It was 14 stabs. It was 14 shots. I don't know what next week gonna be, cuz. Nobody died in each event. Man, y'all stay on point out there, man. There's some shit going on. Y'all stay on point. There's definitely some shit going on around this motherfucker. Rod Wave and goddamn got booked for some shit that happened last month. Come on, bro. 14 times. Think about this shit. Like 14 times? We gotta pull some shit. We gotta pull something up. We gotta see something. Before I got there, go back to the other shit. I gotta, goddamn, Rod. God damn, man. Let's see what else. What else going on, man? What the word on the street is, man? What the word on the street is with little bro, man? Little bro done goddamn crashed out.
I know a lot of fans are gonna be sad about this, but you ain't gonna be seeing Rod Wave.
Nah, you gonna be seeing him. You gonna be seeing him. You gonna be seeing him a lot till that damn case happen. We gonna see if he going to court on it though. That's what we gonna see. We gonna see if a nigga going to court. Is he gonna fight that bitch? I see son talking about a janky promoter. He was shooting at a janky promoter, not his girl. I don't know. That sound more goddamn. That sound more like it. Well, oh man, that's that old shit. Cut it out, man. That's that old shit. They needed the bitch for showing that damn clip of a nigga that was supposed to be Rod Wave. That wasn't even Rod Wave, man. They got dumb as hell, man. Y'all niggas, them niggas be funny. They know how to put some shit together to get some views, don't them? That shit be crazy as hell. I don't know what that shit is about. Anyway, though, that's it. Fuck it. We're gonna go back over here and see what that shit about. I would say free that boy, but shit, he already free. He bonded out. He all right. He straight. Back to the regularly scheduled programming.
All right. So we don't know who the other witnesses are going to be. The judge did ask for a schedule of witnesses, and it appears that the schedule of witnesses so far has Diddy. Well, not Diddy, but had Dawn Richard and then Kerry Morgan on the stand. We don't know who's going to come after that. At some point, we're going to get Jane Doe, but we do have to think about all the other things that has to be proven. Maybe somebody who worked on the car for or who recovered the car, or a cop that recovered or responded to the scene of the car being blown up for Kid Cudi. Don't think Kid Cudi gonna take the stand. There's a lot of other people, and maybe like some
Don't think Kid Cudi gonna take the
clinical
stand.
psychiatrists,
That nigga taking
or
the stand.
trauma psychiatrists that could be taking a stand to kind of like push home some of these points of like, a victim being in these situations, and maybe you think that they're operating under their own free power and free will, but they're actually being taken advantage of, and they're moving out of fear or being in a drugged up state. So we're gonna see a lot more people other than like people that we know or hear about. So far, we're hearing a lot about people we know and hear about. Okay. Let's see. We should get some more tweets here. They probably got about 30 more minutes, or maybe a couple more minutes before they break. Okay, so it says, how did Mr. Combs act? It says he would yell at Cassie. She lost her confidence big time. She lost her spark. Did he talk down to her? Yes, about her looks, who she talked to. Did he contact you looking for her? He says a lot. So they're kind of driving home this whole thing that Cassie would be missing at times, or like, she would be absent. And Diddy would send security to go get her. He would call multiple people to try to get in contact with her. And he made a point where Cassie had to be held accountable, or Cassie had to be present when he wanted Cassie to be present. He was the best friend. I think they may have even mentioned he may have even hit up the moms. Like, Diddy always made sure he knew about Cassie. And this is going to go into the government's point of, you remember, sex trafficking under force, fraud, or coercion. It's like, yeah, you could say Cassie could walk out the door, but if when she walks out the door, he tracks her down with security, he's still threatening her, he's saying he's going to drop the video, he's hitting up her best friend, he's pretty much has control or has a tap on her whole life. The physical act of leaving the room of a freak off doesn't still allow her to escape, right? Also, he had a place that she used to stay at that supposedly he had access to. So, just trying to play devil's advocate on how they're trying to roll this case out, right?
Glass fresher than it's ever been, make it look gleamy. Get it street free, filling it up to the top from the tap. Now that glasses mean green.
Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no fucking way, boy. Ain't no fucking way, boy. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no fucking way, boy. Oh, that was the end of that. I forgot. That's the that wasn't the shit. That was the other one. But whatever. Damn, man. There's some shit going on. There's some shit going on, man. Hey, man, don't get caught up out here slipping with one of these boyettes out here. You hear me? Don't be out here. Don't let a nigga find out you out here goddamn fucking around with boyette. Know what I'm saying? Nigga fucking with boyette, no. Damn, man, that shit crazy. Hey, man, y'all stay on point, man. It's something up. It's something up with that number 14. It's something up with that motherfucking number 14. I'm telling you. It was 14 shots. If first it was 14 stabs, and then it was 14 shots. But then they said the 14 shots came before the news of the 14 stabs. So it was really 14 shots first, and then it was 14 stabs. I don't know what the next. I don't know what the next 14 gonna be. But technically, it's about a month away, 3 weeks away. It's gonna be 14 something. It was 14. It was 14 stabs, then 14. Well, 14 shots, then 14 stabs. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking into that shit. Maybe I'm finna get me 14 stacks or something. Maybe I'm finna just hit me for a quick 14 stacks or something. That's what I'm feeling like. Oh no, that's all I can think about. Shit, they been fucked up with other motherfuckers on the 14 cent. I need some positive shit over here for the 14. You feel me? 14 stacks or something. You feel me? And that's how we gonna end this shit, man. Hustlers on the mission every day. Home Meat TV. We in the lit house. Whatever you do, make sure you keep the light within you shining bright. You feel me? And do it capital and create a positive impact today and later. Fuck them haters. Get your paper straight like that and never forget real niggas do what they want to do. Bitch niggas do what they can. Whole ass niggas gonna talk about it and fuck niggas gonna hate regardless. I promise.